Hello everyone and welcome back to Assassin Sunday, where we are once again doing the recurring challenge. What name should we give us? Of seeing how SharePlay compatible this game is.
I believe his name is Shay Cormac, so Shay should probably work.
Shay, okay. Don't know if I've spelt it right, but oh well.
Yeah, but we got it going. That's what matters.
Yeah. It seems to be SharePlay compatible enough for now. It was really only the Ezio collection that had a problem.
Yeah.
Stay my blade from the flesh of the innocent. Hide in plain sight. Never compromise the Assassin Brotherhood. These are the tenets of the Creed, the principles I used to live by. I was a young man then. The 7 Years' War was about to begin. I could not have imagined what the future had in store for me, nor the cost I would choose to bear. My name is Shay Patrick Cormac. This is my story.
Well, it suddenly had a more cinematic opening than most of them.
Yeah. And a little more straightforward too.
No modern day segments so far. That has become the curse of these games.
We didn't have one at all in Freedom Cry.
Don't lack for firewood.
Seb says all sounds good.
Yeah.
Hi Seb, how you doing?
Eating so.
Now, is the sound in sync? This is very important.
Admit it, I nearly had you.
Nearly counts for nothing, Shay. And besides,
What's the deal with this
that was just
game?
luck.
I make my own luck.
I think this is the one where you plays the
you've been
story
saying
of
that for
someone
years,
who
but your
turns their
precious
back
little
on
to
the
show
Order
for
of
it.
Assassins.
Or have you been spending it all getting out of trouble?
Yeah.
Well, you know, trouble
That
just
was part of the
follows me around.
marketing material.
Yeah.
Let's head back.
Shay Patrick Cormac.
Yeah.
He's almost feels like he should be named Paddy Turaluralura Leprechaun Potato McGuinness.
Yeah.
Who knew meeting
It's
with
not like how
so good?
stereotypical Irish they've tried to make the
Still don't
name.
understand
The
why you can't
J.K.
tell me
Rowling
what we're
School
doing
of
here.
Naming
Because
things.
Chevalier decided not to tell you.
I thought we were friends, Liam.
We are.
Yeah,
Oh.
like a future just like TV's internet is already struggling. Yay!
Oh no.
Hey, we got money.
His friend Liam. And they're going to meet their cousin Potato Famine Car Bomb.
Am I going too fast for you?
I'm just keeping an eye on you. in case
Do you
fall
think
down
he's
the countryside.
Irish? I think there is a distinct possibility that they might be.
Like,
Oh,
apparently he can't climb trees. Tom.
or at least he
There's a bit of
can.
snow on
but-
it. There's a bit of snow on it. I can't manage it. Ooh, bird. Yes, let's do some synchronizing. Ooh, there are Brits to stab.
There are Brits to
Because
stab.
currently with the we're currently
Hurry. We best not keep
currently
Chevalier waiting.
an assassin, and this is just before the 7 Year War, so there are Brits to stab. So it's not long before Connor.
We're out
Ah.
hunting. What happened here?
My men were attacked by some English sea dogs.
Why, Captain Joseph, couldn't you fight them all off by yourself like you're always saying?
Uh-oh.
It is Capitaine Louis-Joseph Gauthier, Chevalier de la Vérendrye. And you are dreaming if you think any training could make you into a proper assassin. Do you even know what that means? It means being responsible for an ancient and proud tradition. It means obeying your mentor without question. How else will we ensure freedom for the human race?
Them's pretty words, Chevalier. But I don't feel too free at the moment.
Well then, feel educated.
That lip syncing is jarring.
Yeah. Here's the combat.
I will teach you some manners, boy.
Oh, we're up to 4. The view count just jumped from 1 to 4. I wish it was a little more in real time,
I will
because
teach
it
you
makes
some
me
manners,
nervous.
boy.
A historical war with the British as combatants? Nani?
Gentlemen, stop!
We got a common enemy, and I reckon he's close.
The Royal
Is that
Navy
a free
attacked
smog
my
there?
vessel and forced my men to flee. We are stranded, and what is worse, the smugglers we were supposed to meet have been taken prisoner.
Shay and I'll free those smugglers. You treat your wounded.
I will teach you some manners. Plot twist. This is just the plot of My Fair Lady.
It's true. It's incredibly true. And of course, she has to fall for the man who is over double her age. Sorry, I was just thinking. I'll get the subtitles on.
Yeah, that, would it be on the video? Yeah, there we go.
Subtitles on. Subtitles on because they can sometimes be important.
Yep.
The Royal Navy be ready for us. Remember your training. Ready to teach him a lesson?
They don't stand a chance.
Where are your mates now, you filthy
bad.
rat? Talk before I bash out your brains!
Stab the British. Stab the
Keep an eye
British.
out, lads! Their pals are still out there somewhere!
There he goes
Oh,
again.
how we've missed stabbing the British.
Yes, we were stabbing the French last time.
Yeah.
Didn't feel quite as fun.
The
Oh, bother.
grieve and the sheet serves mainly to help you bleed. Ah, the old grieve and sheath. Ah.
We are here to free some smugglers. We're whalers on the moon.
Indeed.
Come on, go that. No! I just wanted you to go a tiny bit further forwards.
Well, they didn't see
No.
you, so it's not a loss yet.
Greetings! You English big dogs!
Hello. Goodbye. Oh, we have pounds as the currency this game.
Yes, like in
3.
3.
Many thanks. I thought I'd be hanged.
Oh, there's still a chance of that, my laddie. Oh, it's a glowy thing. You must pick it up already. Looks like we found the map. Templar map, no less.
Yes.
Yeah. We will do nothing with that, I imagine.
It's not really the point of these streams.
No, but I hear chest. And I've walked past it twice already. Kill all British guards. Now that's an objective I could get behind. Also, they had the name of the ship on the back, and one thing I know is that Shay apparently names this ship, but already it has the nameplate on it.
Yeah. I seem to remember the talk about this game being that it was rushed because it was developed. Well, it was developed alongside Unity for the PS4, but they wanted a PS3 game out as well, so they just sort of stuck the B team onto this one. Is what I have in my head.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it felt like it. Yeah, it was a PS4 free game released just after the PS4 had come out.
Yeah. And Assassin's Creed Unity was the PS4. It was the franchise's introduction to the PS4.
And we all know how well that went.
I was saving those
Yeah,
fellas for you.
the bugginess is legendary.
Speaking of useless,
But parkour is apparently the best in the series still.
Oh. Well, that should be fun then.
This pile of
Yeah.
merde.
Yeah.
You want her, Shay? She is yours. Now bring me back to my ship.
Oh good.
You heard Chevalier?
10 minutes in and already we've got the ship.
One.
Hey, they know what we're here
Some of
for.
the men you rescued agreed to join us. They should prove a good crew.
I'm not so certain about their captain, but next to me you are the most experienced sailor in the Brotherhood chain. Besides, we could use another vessel. Even this pitiful one.
she's mine, ain't she? My own ship.
Your own pile of garbage, yes?
Ah, with a lick of paint and a few new cannons, she'll look as fine as anything on the seven seas.
I think we need a fair few new cannons.
Yes. You can never have too many cannons.
Well, we begin, Captain.
Dragon Ball be like.
Indeed, mate. She's a mess, but she's still afloat. And her name's the Morgan.
Morgan? That silly fairy queen who ruined Merlin, the wise? Oh, she's perfect for you, Shay.
Morgan was an old goddess. Queen of war and darkness. She harvested the souls of fallen warriors. Perfect indeed.
Okay, we may not have named her the Morrigan.
A ship!
Ah.
Shen, they will
Oh,
sink
well.
her!
Let's put the Morrigan to the test, Captain Shay.
Ready for battle, men!
Oh, that was too high.
She's breaking up!
Crowd on every inch of
Speed up, we have a ram! For goodness sake.
Stop them, boy!
Not that I can actually see where I'm going half the time, but this ship is much, much smaller than either of the last two we've commanded, and I can barely see where we're going.
To pieces! Do something!
Yeah.
Yes, I'm trying! Full combat, dear fool. Oh, come on! I missed that one entirely.
Keep clear! She'll ram us!
That's our job. Turning, turning, turning.
I wouldn't be
Thank
too...
God we
But
need more cannons.
because of the B-team nature of this game, I wouldn't be too surprised if it's quite short. But,
Bring in top halyards!
I don't know. Because I never finished this one when But, as I say, this was the
Yeah.
last game that I played the original release of. And I didn't
Yeah.
finish it.
But on the flip side, it reuses a lot of assets from Black Flag.
Yeah.
Studs out! Let's get moving!
So there's a fair chance that it's actually not too bad in length.
Yeah.
That wasn't the one I was aiming at, but I'll take the shot.
Yeah. A win's a win.
Douse the royals and tops! Fire!
It seems this vessel is battle ready after all. I will return to what is left of their Gerku. It's a long way home. We have repairs to do.
Sing hearty, lads! Chevalier is pleased with us.
I wanted to shoot the iceberg.
Yeah.
the Big Hearty Chevalier is pleased with us.
A rare day indeed, apparently.
You can hear the singing.
Yes.
We've got a total of 6 cannons.
Time to report back to the mentor. Wouldn't you agree?
Wise words, Captain. Wise words.
I like that Shay's got like a sword and a parrying dagger. That's an
Yeah.
interesting new thing.
Yeah, it's sort of like how Connor fought with the tomahawk, because he used the hidden blade offhand as a dagger, because he had a pivot one.
Some kind of
Oh
dormant
dear,
virus?
modern day segment incoming.
Shit.
Oh god.
Hang on, I'm getting you out of there.
Oh no,
Sir,
we're
Sure.
at...
Version of modern day, a woman's backside.
You were just in an animus. Animus, yes? You were using it to access a genetic memory file in Helix labeled Shay Cormac? You worked for Abstergo Entertainment, remember?
Oh
Any
no.
of this ringing a bell? Your session triggered something bad, and it's affecting the whole building.
We're
need to
back
find your
at
boss.
not Ubisoft.
You haven't forgotten your boss, have
Ew,
you?
not the modern
no
day.
Zipper, chipper, overachiever. Here.
They are not
Communicators,
kind to
check
their
in to get lost.
their bosses.
Now let's get out of
No.
here. Follow me. Double time. This chaos is absolutely your fault.
Oh
in
no,
case you're
not the
wondering.
cliche amnesia.
Everything is gonna be okay, guys. Stay positive.
I remember her.
What the hell is happening?
A file labeled Shay Cormac was booby-trapped with some kind of virus.
Your job is to prevent things like this.
We need to contain these genetic memories, then we can destroy them.
No. Isolate them. I want to study these memories.
But
With respect, Miss LeMay.
You are insert peasant here, remember? I will tell
heard the
you
man.
all the exposition.
Fine. I need to borrow your
Ha,
numbskull.
booby.
Is that okay with you, Ms. LeMay?
hey there, this might seem a bit weird, but you're gonna work for contractors we hired to, you know, upgrade our security. Mr. Otto Berg and Miss Violet DaCosta.
Call me Violet.
I have to go check on our people and prepare a statement for the press. Do whatever they tell you to do, okay? Go team!
Preppy overachiever indeed.
Technically, you're not responsible for this, but you're the one who let the virus out, so I think it's only fair you help me clean it up. Mr. Berg wants us to relive Shay's genetic memories. To do that, we need to access them from Helix. But the Helix is down. We'll have to reboot the main servers in the basement.
Oh, good. But
Man,
here's
whoever designed
the
this
evil.
virus is a genius. Not only does it restrict our access to the cloud, it's adapted to fuck up the other operating systems that regulate building functions. Melanie?
Yay.
The elevators are out of commission. Are we stuck on this floor?
Damn.
Who
Yes.
thought it?
I'll get a repair crew on site ASAP.
There's a working area server on this floor. I guess it'll have to do for now.
Agent DaCosta, I want regular updates on your progress with Shay's genetic memories.
Why? He's just a nobody as far as I can tell.
If Shay Cormac is who I suspect he is, then this temporary setback may provide us with an unexpected
No,
reward.
that's all free.
Proceed to the server room on this floor.
Restore the server.
Na.
Do you see a
Oh, good.
Once you restore the server, I'll connect your Animus workstation.
Mini game.
In theory, if you align the beams to segments of the core, it should solve the problem. But here's where it gets tricky. You have to move the circles in such a way that each segment is powered by a beam. The keyword here is each. One beam and one beam only per core segment, okay? Once everything
Yes.
is lit up properly, the system will reboot. Got it? Give it a shot.
I could have solved it at the time of the beloved introduction. Okay. How do you move to the...
L1 and R1 to choose different rings to move. So,
Good job. This core wasn't too complex. But rebooting the advanced hardware in the rest of the building will require more work.
The assassins had me believe that Al-Mualim was a great mentor who became corrupted with greed, and that he schemed with the Templars to acquire an apple of Eden. I see instead a shrewd and cunning leader, a man who used his best assassin, Altair ibn Lahad, to eliminate his conspirators in order to keep the apple for himself, so that he could use it to enforce world peace. While it must be stated unequivocally that Al-Mualim was not a Templar, it is interesting to me that his vision of peace was more in line with Templar philosophy than assassin. In the past, both sides had the same goal, that of peace. Our only difference was how we chose to achieve it. Had Al-Mualim not been killed by Altair and allowed to carry out his plan, perhaps we would not be fighting now. It was only after Altair reformed the Brotherhood with its new ideals of free will that the conflict truly escalated and spread across the planet. For if the so-called wise man of the mountain can see things from our point of view. Surely the same can be said for other assassins.
Booms.
Okay. So I'm not sure you're supposed to see that. You should just get back to your animus. With the servers back online, you could, in theory, restore your co-workers' workstations if you feel like being helpful. And you could, in theory, find some more digital goodies if you feel like being sneaky.
Are you trying to get me to do your job,
By
assassin?
the elevator? If you see any tech lying around like that, grab them. There might be a clue as to who did this.
Apparently we own some action figures.
We stand on the brink of a grand discovery.
Yeah, I'm not helping my co-workers out.
No.
That is not the point of the stream.
Yeah. Minimum wage, minimum effort.
Let's go back to being an assassin in 1750s. Oh, hello. This is familiar.
It has been a long time.
Achilles.
Adewale, how go things in the West Indies?
Very poorly, I'm afraid.
Your countenance tells me we should discuss this. Come.
There's two familiar faces.
Yeah.
One younger, one older.
That's Adewale. He was a slave who freed himself, and hundreds of his brothers in the West Indies. That man's a living incarnation of the Creed.
See?
You join me for some practice?
Soon. I've got other business first.
Like being nosy.
Tell me what happened.
It was terrible, Achilles. The ground shook, and the ocean waves crashed over Port-au-Prince.
How many were lost?
Thousands. No family was left untouched.
I hate to bring up practical matters at a time like this. But did Macandal's man complete his task before the earthquake hit?
I cannot know. Vonredi has not been found. He was a strong Maroon, one of Macandal's best students.
Such a shame. So we cannot know if he found the site.
Indeed. But if there was a temple under the waves, I doubt it is still standing.
And the artifacts that showed the way?
Stolen. The Templars broke in during the chaos. They seized the manuscript and precursor box. I gave chase
Yeah,
on the
I'm
sea,
glad
but
we did
lost their
Freedom
trail
Cry.
when they reached New York.
We must consider what to do next.
All of that to the lore dump there. Very important, I imagine.
Yeah.
And also, look, we're back at the homestead we know gets absolutely wrecked.
Yeah.
And that Codder helps rebuild.
While there's a hatchet buried in the
post.
Yeah. You could have used a tree.
Yeah.
You are late.
Oh, what did I miss? Only the first hour of training.
We're always training, Kisagawase.
And will continue to do so.
Do not waste your words. Shay abhors improvement as much as cats abhor leashes.
Hey.
I think that's about
Pity.
right.
The boy has so much potential. But so little discipline.
All right. All right. What would you have me do?
Well played.
You were the nearest.
What's the challenge today?
Shooting straight and true. Here, you can use these.
These are yours.
Well, I want you to have half a chance of succeeding. Go on. Shoot these targets. You can take your time. Not too much. More work after this. Reload. Anyone can hit targets standing still. Let's see how you do on the run. Come on.
wasn't quite what I had intended. Because I might have had to shoot that one. Okay, the climbing is not as clear as others. I'm stuck in a tree. I'm no longer stuck in the tree.
It happens.
Go on, reload, reload. Well, I done goofed. Don't think I'm gonna get another 3 targets in 10 seconds.
You might.
I know you can do better, Shay.
No.
Try again.
It wasn't far off, but
Faster.
trying to reload. The improvement they have on this one is you can reload while running.
Yeah.
Just for this, the 40-second achievement I wanted.
Well done, Shay.
But,
Oh, damn.
Keep it up.
oh well.
You're doing all right, Shay. Don't let the others vex you. They mean well. They'll never show it.
It's about time you showed up.
Lesson, then.
Far be it from me to keep a lady waiting.
I'm no lady here. Don't you forget it. I'm your teacher. And you're better.
Well, some of that is true at least. What should we be doing?
Exploring a myriad ways to end a life. You two! Make yourselves useful and watch Shay.
Oh, good.
Can you kill without being noticed?
He's right there!
Oh, that's unhelpful. There's dense vegetation. That looks like dense vegetation.
Yes.
Back in.
They even named a member of the party.
Okay,
too.
wow my...
Hey!
No, wow my...
He's right there!
Your connection
Come
not
on.
behaving.
Yeah, no, my connection's really not behaving.
Damn.
Top form, Shay.
Oh, I think you're supposed
Attack
to
from
climb
around a
up the,
corner, and your target will never know what hit him.
Yeah.
They even named a member of the party you too, the
I am
most
surprised.
stereotypically Irish name.
I see him there!
Oh,
Oh,
you
for God's sake.
Oh, I see.
Dense vegetation. Gonna kill you again.
Attack from around a corner, and your target will never know what hit him. You certainly know how to handle yourself.
Right. Where's the target there above? Him. You'll do.
You certainly know how to handle yourself. You did better than I expected. Have your skills actually grown, Shay? Do not get a swelled head over it.
You guys really do not help him avoid the swelled head.
Yeah, they are screaming.
Follow me. It's time you learn to survive in the frontier.
I think I've been managing well enough so far.
They're screaming at the audience the assassins were
more I can
assholes
teach
to Shay.
Yeah, and is it just me, or can I not see who I'm meant to be following? Or is he? Oh, he's above me. I was thinking, is my connection really that bad that I can't actually see him?
No, I couldn't see them either at that point.
I'm not that far behind you, matey. But unlike other things, this is Shay's actual memories.
Yeah.
So, the assassins are assholes. This is the hunting tutorial, I believe.
It is time for the hunt.
See? Hunting
Yes.
tutorial.
Indeed.
Use all your senses together to find prey.
That looks like prey.
Kill the elk.
Find the half-leg.
Killing should not be meaningless. We must use what nature gives us.
The hidden blade
Good.
does not strike me as a
Now
good
to use
skinning
what you have
tool.
taken from nature.
No. But, you know, you need very specific types of blade for these things.
Yes, which the hidden blade is apparently all of them.
Yeah.
Ooh, a hair pelt will get us a health upgrade.
So we've got extra
You now
pistol
have
holsters.
pistols.
You can keep your pistols close.
We've got actual pistol
Achilles
holsters.
has one more thing to show you.
Because we didn't technically have pistol holsters.
Ah.
Because we were borrowing Liam's, our Irish buddy.
Ah, yes. Of course his name is Liam. Like Liam Neeson.
I mean, that giant lion who's standing for Jesus.
Shay,
Yes.
I hear you've become quite the marksman.
Hey,
Keep your
pistols.
Gift. Thank you, mentor.
My ship awaits, Achilles.
Keep your
People of
pistol
Haiti
and send your
would
pistol
make good
even
use of your
closer,
supplies.
says Sam.
I trust you will retrieve what has been lost.
Lost? The Templars stole two precious artifacts. A manuscript of ancient wisdom and a box that allows one to understand its language.
I have tracked the Templar as far as this coast, but I fear the rest is up to you, my friend.
Farewell, Adewale. Whoever controls the artifacts can access precursor sites of power. We must recover them, or none are safe.
Yay, we suck at assassin lessons. And we also just became the disembodied pair of pistols, a sword, and a dagger.
A lot of men have that problem at his time of life.
Squirrel. No, that is a rabbit, I think.
Oh, yeah, you needed a hair pelt, didn't you?
Health upgrade. Thanks. Give me a button to say, press this to go to the crafting menu, and then don't go to the crafting menu. They're distinctly unhelpful.
Yeah.
We now have more health.
Huzzah.
So, Canadian lynx and Arctic hares. And rope dart pouch, we're not there yet. Smoke bombs. That's a good favourite.
Yeah.
Pistol ammo. Deer and beaver. Air rifles, pouches. Ooh, grenades. And then some outfits. And then, oh, we can make some rope darts if we were further in the story.
Yeah.
And sleep darts, or berserk darts, or
Firecracker
firecracker darts.
dart.
Sleep grenade.
Berserk grenade.
Berserk grenade. Shrapnel grenade. No, this is more than we had as Connor, and Connor is later than this one.
Yeah.
Given Achilles' current condition of not being hobbled and not being a grouchy old man.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that you may have a distinct dislike of the Irish after this game. Because, you know, a grouchy old man had to be called by something.
Yep.
Hello there.
Where to?
Liam.
Wherever Templar affairs lead us.
Liam, it's not like you to set out without a plan.
Plan or no plan. We choose our own battlefield. And hey, we're not most at ease when we're at sea.
Right you are. Let's set sail.
Halifax.
Nope, it's April.
We only have one lead, Shay. Let's hope it brings us closer to the artifacts.
Sir Keeley's tasked you with this mission.
No. He tasked me to task you. Need to find what
What
was
kind
stolen
of
from
bank
Monkey
has a
Shay.
branch in the middle of
To
the
recover the
ocean?
precursor box of manuscript. This is your mission.
And what's yours?
I don't know.
Watch your arse.
It's one that is,
Keeley's doesn't really trust me, does he?
Give it time, Shay. Do this for him. For us. Do much more than earn his trust.
Liam,
uh,
you know what Keeley's writes about? I see him in his office all the time, bent over his papers.
He keeps records and accounts. Studies what little is known about the pieces
When
of the
my bank opens in the
And
morning.
of course, he corresponds with assassins from other continents.
Of course. Liam, you could be a right horse's arse when it comes to assuming everyone knows the same as you.
I cannot help if Achilles wants me to be familiar with our counterparts in Europe and elsewhere.
Said like his favorite son.
Connor's his favorite and only son.
Then Achilles is heir. Connor may inherit the house, but you'll be mentor.
We'll see.
Whatever you say, Prince Regent of the Assassins.
You call me that again. Throw you in the ocean.
well, we don't appear to have a spyglass.
No. That seems like an oversight.
As much sail as you can.
Ready to fire, sir! Fill the sunboat! The Royal Navy, sir! On the one, sir!
That didn't work. Oh, barrels. Barrels. Oh no, we don't have swivel guns.
You don't have swivel guns.
No, the ship's falling apart when we got there, so
Well, I hope we get them later.
I believe we get puckle guns actually, rather than swivels.
Easy prey, Captain Cormac.
Which, for your answer, they're more advanced. So we get them, but we get the better version of them.
Oh, good.
Because of course we have all the financial resources of the Templar that are transferred to them. Ye gods! Those schooners took a lot out of our health.
They did.
There's a harbour master where you need one. Travel speed! Just get out of this next ship's area of notice. Okay, there's a location behind us. It is, however, meaning I can't actually look in front of us.
I did not mind expense. I bought her 2 gold earrings and they cost me 15 cents. And it's the way you Sandy, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls can't
Come on. Turn. Turn.
Let out some sail!
I mean, this is a different sea shanty.
Yes, it's about dancing the polka.
Yeah.
Hold them in! Get off the wind! Bring it all in! Get the mainsails into the wind!
All you New York girls, can you dance the polka?
Up!
Yeah.
The way you said it. Oh. Yes, hello. Apparently we need to talk. Tinker, tailor, soldier.
Trust me, you will sell those lobster by the ton in France. Ah! The cabbage farmer has returned. About time. We have a lead on that curious manuscript.
I'd be surprised if you can read it.
No one can read it, imbecile. This is why the Templar are taking so long with it. But one of our allies has caught a glimpse of their work.
A pirate?
A spy who worked with the pirate. We set sail for Anticosti. That should prove a good test for this floating cesspit you call a ship.
Well, let me upgrade it a bit, and you'll be much, much more happy with it than your lumbering
How
hull.
trustworthy are the pirates?
Hey, we got we now have a spyglass.
Huzzah!
Nope, don't stab them, don't stab them, don't stab them, it's tempting. And we're on a mission, so we can't upgrade.
Oh no.
We also can't stab them. We can shoot them, but we cannot stab them. I suppose technically they are our allies at this moment.
Yeah.
Captain's at the helm. I consider them
Bloody
brothers.
technicality.
When the time comes, they will lend aid and help us fight the Templars. If only the roast beef would realize the Templars were pulling their strings.
Are the Templars truly in control in the colonies?
Not quite, but their influence reaches far and wide.
And what about the spy we're meeting?
You need not worry about the chasseur. He is loyal to the Brotherhood. As it happens, he also has friends in both the French and English fleets. And he knows more about what goes on in these parts than you can ever hope to learn.
So, Liam, what could you tell me about Adewale? You obviously admire the man.
I had the honor of working with him once. I've never known anyone who've done so much for our cause. It's much more than that.
Adewale was already legend before joining the Brotherhood. He was a pirate, scourge of the West Indies, rubbing elbows with the likes of Blackbeard, Woodes Rogers, and Calico Jack Racker.
Calico who?
Oh, read a book, will you?
20 years ago,
You missed Ken Way.
Yeah.
Stole a mysterious package. He traveled to Port-au-Prince and entrusted it to a woman he believed was loyal to our cause.
Who up top? Mates out! Let's go!
Yay! Finally! Spyglass! Okay, spyglass is now a different button. It's up on the pad on the left, rather than R1.
I see.
An English vessel, and she looks to be in trouble.
That's fine indeed. Perhaps we should aid her journey to the bottom of the sea.
Now, let's not be too hasty. She's full of crown cargo. Take a look through your spyglass and see for yourself.
Out of sight. I say this is a good day to lighten King George's pockets.
Be careful. A few shots should be enough to cripple her. Too much damage and she'll go down with all souls and all spoils.
We can board and loot her before the crew knows what to do.
Fire!
Wow, we're low health.
Yeah.
Fire!
Oops. Wasn't meant to sink her, and it says you didn't drop any loot. That's bad. Yeah, wrong button. Yeesh. I meant to get 30 lots of metal.
Trim off the wind.
We're not exactly rowing beneath the black flag, but we might as well be.
Oh, that wasn't since Cripple does that cheer made it sound.
One more volley ought to do it.
Yeah, if we get another volley, I can't. There it is. Yeah.
Hold your fire. Don't want to sink her. Now's the time. Let's board her. Show them what's for, Captain.
Come on, men. Fires are ours. For the
We
Morrigan.
don't have any puckle guns or thermal guns yet. Oh wow, my image has just gone down the drain.
Oh god.
Oh, come. Yeah. For me, the image is currently, I've just stepped away from the wheel. No other sound effect.
Right, well you successfully paused.
What's wrong with the internet?
Oh, it says
Yeah, I pressed that best part of a minute ago.
Kicked you off the share play. Right.
Play lost connection.
Okay.
Do you want to take over from here and we'll do a partial share to extend it?
Yeah, okay.
Just while my internet's being a pain, that's...
I think we're about to get the 5-minute warning
Let's
anyway.
give it... No.
Because we started at 9:30.
We've only been streaming for a quarter of an hour. We started at nearly 22.
A quarter of an hour? That can't be right.
Yeah. We got the stream started slightly late.
Alright. Still though, quarter of an hour? It's been longer than that, surely.
The stream's at 47 minutes.
Oh, 3/4
or
of
just
an
about
hour.
to hit 48.
Okay, yeah. Alright,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, if you take over.
Yep, alright, I got it. Oh, I will need
Just
to
share the
invite
screen
you.
with me so I can get...
I will need to invite you back, won't I?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, technology and sleepiness. It's not a
Yeah.
fun combination, is it?
No, not at all. Technology is an eldritch, like, ritual at the best of times.
Yes.
Okay. Woo! Okay, what? Why can't I pull out the sword?
We're quick with the sword is 2 to the left on the thing. Yeah, there it is. Oh, wow. My internet is awful.
Having a bad day for it today?
Apparently.
I mean, I know you're not normally free of issues, but...
Yeah, like, I have just closed down near enough... The only internet things I've got open in my room are the stream, Discord, and are in the PS4. And it's just sort of like, I'm barely getting anything.
Oh, wow, that's
But,
not good. So, we could repair the Morrigan, which I think
we'll
we should
just
do.
see how it goes.
You can salvage
really
the ships
need
for
to.
money. we would get £750 for this ship.
Yeah, but we've not got much help on the Morrigan, so...
Yeah.
And I'm sure we need to encounter two more... need to deal with two more ships. I'm sure we can get...
We should strengthen the Morgan before going any further. There's a harbour master stationed nearby.
Oh,
Spend our new wealth on improvements.
I didn't realize there was a brotherhood in Haiti.
Yes. Francois McCandle is their mentor. He gathers many of his assassins from the Marines.
So where's the PS5?
Those are escaped
I don't
slaves
see any
and their children,
PS5.
right?
It's a
They are.
YouTube proof
Shame,
reference.
They escape terrible conditions only to be killed in that earthquake.
We need another 20 metal
Haiti's a French
for our
colony,
quest.
Oh, it is.
Actually upgrade the ship.
And here, the assassins are helping King Louis. But in Haiti, the French own the slaves who are set free by the assassins.
Our struggle is beyond political borders, Shay.
Anticosti shouldn't be far. Keep us on course, Captain.
Okay. I will be back momentarily. I'm just going to check on something.
Okay.
See if the rotor's doing okay.
Alright. I will just board this schooner in the meantime. Oh, wow.
You've enough cargo to improve the ship, Captain.
Yeah, that one doesn't have the metal we need.
Oh, you're back. Huh.
Yeah, I've no idea if I've fixed any. Well, I could say nothing's been fixed. And the brig is French, so it's on our side currently. No, there shouldn't be anything that's affecting it. I've shut down near enough everything that isn't things. Shouldn't really be anything that one's doing. But yeah.
Oh, that sank it.
No, it's hiding just on the other side of the island. So it should now be right in front of... Oh. No, it's a different one. Yes, they did sink it. Apologies.
No problem.
Ready to box, sir!
Get a move on!
They're coming after us, sir! Skip race!
God! Reel them in!
I said look out for schooners, not crooners. Heh.
That's the perfect place to have a sword fight. Right next to the gunpowder.
I think I'll salvage that one. We might need some money to
Yeah.
upgrade.
Yes.
Loose and trim too!
Now, if only we could find the remaining metal we need. Ooh,
there
ship!
it is.
Yes! HMS Fearless! HMS Fearless. Rather different to the last HMS Fearless we saw. Legendary ship in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Ready to bark!
Why would you call a schooner HMS Fearless?
Because it's a tiny ship and it's on its own. Ergo, it must be fearless.
I suppose. I read somewhere that the Black Flag was actually the nice version of a pirate signaling their attack. But the Black Flag was
I can
about...
imagine that the non...
Sorry?
Sorry, I could imagine the non-nice version of a pirate signaling their attack is them shooting heads of their former victims across or something equally horrible.
I don't know how reliable this information is, but what I read was when they flew the Black Flag, it was a signal that if you just surrendered and laid down your arms, you'd only be taken prisoner. Whereas if the flag was red, no quarter would be given.
Yeah. That is sort of how it has gone in the games. We've flown the Black Flag, and the moment they stop fighting, we stop killing them.
Yeah.
Rather like what's happening here.
Yes, indeed.
One man jumps on board, suddenly 5 people. They think, oh, we can stop them. 5 people later, oh no, we're doomed.
Yeah.
We can sell this again as the Morgan repaired up to full afterwards. And we should now have enough metal.
Brace yourselves! Loose made sails!
We are sailing.
Is this the place? I see nothing but fishermen and their gear.
Aye, per se and fishing go hand in hand. But it will serve our purposes well enough. The French fish these waters first, but King George is laying claim to more every year. The locals are caught in the middle.
Close down! Catch some wind!
Captain, I've invented a new ship. It's called an aircraft carrier. Okay, but what's an aircraft? I'm glad you asked, Captain. I have no idea. Can someone please hurry up and invent it?
Anchor away!
What service can I provide?
So why is the top of this ship completely flat? Just be nice, wouldn't it? We could have barbecues on a nice day.
Yeah, but people could easily fall off of it.
Hull armor, broadside cannons.
Yeah.
Hull armor and broadside cannons. Oh, we're not allowed to upgrade anything else yet. Oh, bloody hell.
My thanks for your trust, Captain.
Yes, I just sent a picture of what my screen is like. The description? Awful.
Yeah. I'll say.
And I have tried turning the TV off. Yes, everything is chaotic.
It's never quite been that bad, has it?
No, but suddenly, the quality has vastly improved.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
After turning the
Le chasseur is waiting for
record
us.
on my laptop, let's see how long that
Sea between here
lasts
and
for.
Anticosti is rough, Captain. The Morrigan seems sturdy enough for the challenge.
Tops, gallants, royals, studs!
Pull up, lads. Loose the royals.
Some sort of cargo there, sir.
Yes, seen it, saw it. Apparently, this technical lesson is, if I'm having problems with the internet on my PS4, I need to enter airplane mode for 5 seconds on my laptop.
I don't know what. I don't know why that worked, but I'm not going to question it.
Yes, just accept it.
Answer, I'm the doctor, just accept it.
You must believe those fishermen strayed into their waters.
Scout must pay.
And would you look at that? Standing right in our way to Anticosti.
Oh, wonderful. Multiple ships to sink. They all seem to be gunboats, so we won't be boarding any. Oh.
I didn't see that iceberg. Airplane mode, your laptop can fly.
Yes, yes. It is secretly actually a transformer. Oh bother, I should not have said that. I'm about to get into trouble. With Optimus Primal. Because of course it's Beast Wars, that's the next film.
Yeah.
There's some loot of the drowning man.
I've not really kept up with Transformers of any sort.
Nor have I. Nor have I. I just heard that the next one was based around the old Beast War. It's Beast Wars themed, so base. And that's my old 90s kid cartoons where I did, ooh, Beast Wars. I remember that. That was some dodgy early 3D effects.
Yeah. Do you remember Reboots? That was a good one.
What one was that?
That was the one where it was basically like The Matrix, where the little kid goes into the computer program and there's a blue guy that is basically like antivirus software made manifest.
Yeah, no, I remember one that it might be something like Reeboks or something, but it was like a robot defeating an evil professor thing and robots each week, and there's like reason why he was able to defeat them was because he was equipped with or powered by the material that the professor had been searching for the whole time to power his own evil robots.
Was that Cubics?
I mean, Cubic. Something like that.
Yeah, Cubics, I remember that.
Yeah.
We remembered the show Johnny Quest the other day, yeah we did, which I never watched but was unaccountably popular. I never did either.
Yeah, I vaguely remember something like Max Steel or something existing as well, sort of an action man attempt.
Yeah. I've no idea. I think I know the thing you're talking about, but I can't remember what it was. Max Steel. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I did have a moment where I was thinking Max Power, but that was
that's
the name. Yes, Simpsons, because there's always a good thing with the Simpsons.
Huh. I remember Cubics existing, not being particularly good, but me watching it anyway. Same, I remember no plot details. None.
You remember this mysterious energy where it was discovered that Cubics was powered by it, which is why he was always able to, after being underhand or beaten in the first half, he could come around and win in the second half off against the Robot of the Week. And yes, I'm describing Cubics, not Power Rangers.
The chasseur should be there. And with any luck, he will know where to find that manuscript.
So of course, it is also exactly the same basic premise as Power Rangers, apart from that was teenagers with attitude and no 3D effects at the time. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because they started doing computer-generated Zords and villain fights for the bigger end bits.
Yeah.
For one of them, and by God, it looks worse than the 90s practical effects.
Oh God.
Yeah, where it was just two people in like cardboard costumes.
I think there's something to be said for practical effects in that approach.
Yeah, well, best demonstrated by like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You can also just walk in the front door of this place. We do not need to climb the wall, as fun as that is.
Alright. I'll go through the door like a peasant.
Like a normal human being. God, it's so dull being an assassin. What's the point of being an assassin if I can't?
How goes the fur trade? Not well enough to put beef on my family's plates.
What is the point of being an assassin if I can't climb over everything?
From a Royal Navy ship of the line. They are like nothing I have ever seen.
Good. We could use some more powerful weapons. Le Chasseur, allow me to present our associate, Shay Cormac.
Gentlemen, I have news. On this same ship, I spied the manuscript you seek. It was written in an exotic language I did not recognize and was full of drawings, plants, and animals out of an opium dream.
Were there no charts, no maps?
No. There may have been some kind of code, but neither I nor the roast beefs could ken it.
Where's the manuscript now?
The man who brought it said a man named Washington sent him.
I know that name. He's an important Templar, isn't he?
He is. Lawrence Washington has great ambitions that Templars have helped fulfill. Shay, let's return and find him. You, sir, have our thanks.
Lawrence Washington. Well, does it not sounding as good as the old George there? Yeah, well done on the ship combat.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, I had to get off the chair there to plug my phone in, and in a lot of pain right now, so it took longer than it normally would.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Ollie, did you book a taxi for tomorrow? He says to phone him. He says to phone him close to the time. I've let him know.
You, sir, you look like a man who could use a good stabbing. If I recognise that symbol properly, that is the ones to rescue crew. Back up the tower, go across the warp point they had.
Yeah. So we're going to see Return of the Jedi tomorrow. If I can move, yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So there's a warp point just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right. There's Oh, sorry. A what?
Yeah, a rope going across two areas.
Oh, god damn it. Oh, I see. And it, that's not
the
what
control doesn't like it, but you saw it.
Yep. Yeah, I managed to somehow put my back out again today. I don't know how that keeps happening. What the?
And then you got shot. But yeah, hidden blades are equipped.
He doesn't like it, but he has to go along with it. Lichten.
Yeah, because I believe the best / easiest way to get into that area is to jump across via the rope into well, where the blue area is, or the blue bit. Ooh, ammo. Yes, we could always use more ammo.
Yes.
Ammo lets us shoot people. Oh, and we've got 2 upgrades currently available.
Yes.
Well, no, that's a fair way in as well. The
Oh well.
I shall be forever grateful to you, sir.
One died, still got 2 crew members.
Yeah. The gun is good.
The synchronization point, there's one just above.
Oh, yes. I see it.
I love it. I love it. Life is a game of chance. There's Templar's guts open.
There we go.
Oh no, a sea shanty is running away from you. Synchronize first. If you want to get shanty, probably best to synchronize first.
Yeah, I couldn't find a spot where the prompt changed to synchronize for a second. No, it's too far away now.
Well away now.
Oh well. Cheerio, world.
God damn it! What is this snow-covered hay here? I wanted to break my neck and my back. I mean, I killed these buggers because of it.
Okay. Oh, that looks like.
That's to exactly the area we just left.
Oh, I don't suppose I can fast travel. So, where is it with... Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't brain today.
Don't worry, we all have moments like that. Yeah, I think it would have taken you a bit of a while on foot.
Yeah. The North Atlantic River Valley.
Yes. Old Man River.
The Old Man River. July 1752.
So 3 months since the last time update we had. My God, it was torturous to travel the wooden past.
Get the maids free! Or sail! All sail!
Just sort of like,
3 months at sea.
Over there, Captain. The fishing settlement of Greystone. The French took over after it was ransacked by bandits. The assassin allies have their home in two dens. Heads.
We've got a head south, we've crossed on a rolling main. Now we're safe ashore, John. Don't forget your old shipmate.
Blues up! Seize the sticks!
The sea shanties
We
seem
may
a
get
little
some-
more jolly.
Get the mainsails into
Yes,
the wind!
it's possible because the crew is Irish. What the hell has happened to my screen?
I don't know.
Oh, did I? No, that's... Am I sitting on my...
Give me some speed!
Okay, just...
Hold down the clew!
Yes, it seems I did something to the remote.
Ah, I see.
Sorted it. You want to see if there's any equipment for us? You just ran past the shop.
Why not? Alright, let's see what you got.
Oh, it's for civilized. There's a front door and everything.
Yeah.
Well met, sir. How fare ye?
Tabaki. Sword and dagger sets. That's what we got. Pirate scimitars. I mean, it doesn't really make a great deal of difference game to game, does it? But, Officer's short sword might be the one.
There's still a couple below that.
Bastard sword. That's probably... That looks like the strongest one. Viking sword.
Oh, hello.
Why not? Arno's sword. I don't think we're getting one much better than the katana and wakizashi. Officer Short Sword was a humorously named officer.
Yes. Did not take it well. What about the pistols?
Oh, yeah.
What can I do for you this day?
Well, you can't sell me anything, but if you happen to have
pirate flintlocks, I mean, we could get those. The range would suffer, but the damage and stun would be good. Queen Anne's pistol.
Yes.
Edward Kenway's pistols.
Or we could go with Edward Kenway's pistols, which are better than the pirate flintlocks.
Yeah, let's do that. Officer Short Sword. I imagine him as a Captain Pogwash character.
Most excellent.
No. Officer Short Sword is friend of Private Browsing!
Yeah. Private Browsing.
Yes. Oh, he's seen some things Private Browsing has. Oh, so many things. He would not believe what he has seen. This is the kind of place where you practice your parkour. In the house where you can annoy multiple people rather than someone who will shoot you on sight.
Yes. Oh, there are stairs.
Ah.
Captain Pogwash characters look like they're related to Peter Griffin and have names like First Mate Poshwank.
Templars desire to understand the nature of these artifacts. Their spies have called upon many doctors and other learned people in New York.
They have also approached many tribes with questions.
I like how someone hacked the Animus to give them a better weapon.
No one can read the strange writing or understand the images.
Yeah, that's it. Seems right.
We learned that Lawrence Washington sent out the manuscript.
Lawrence Washington, businessman, Virginian politician, and high-ranking Templar.
Yes, I recently heard he was back from the West Indies. One of my men saw his major domo pick up a strange package.
Then that package will be delivered to him promptly. Shay, figure out what it is and find Washington. And when you do, learn all you
Someone
can.
hacked the Animus to make him better endowed.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the fun people would have with the Animus and mocking certain people? Like, it's just sort of like, yes, and, well, as it would be, if it were to happen, and the Animus was real, and we somehow managed to get the life of Hitler, he would very much have one ball. And it would be in the Albert Hall, the other one.
Yes, people would make sure of it. Although, speaking of historian, I have a question. You have access to all of space and time. You have one whoopee cushion. Where and when do you deploy it for maximum effect?
I'll think of that a moment, but we can also check for ship upgrades.
Oh, yes.
But, my initial instinct went Henry VIII, the separation from Rome. The tiding of that. But then again, the state Henry VIII ended up in,
What's on your mind,
he might not have needed the assistance of a whoopee cushion.
Yeah.
So, the Declaration of Independence, maybe.
We should repair the ship.
Yeah, prepare that first.
Run
Oh.
bit of business, that.
No, I was trying to...
What service can I provide you?
A simpler button menu.
That would be good. What have we got?
Oh,
Harpoon
harpoon
strength.
strength we can upgrade, but that's it. Not really anything we want right now.
Yeah, it's not really worth it right now, I don't think.
Another time.
No, but we've got a katana Wizaki and the pistols of Edward Kenway.
Yes, that, all in all, 100% successful trip.
Non-purchase, yeah. And we repaired the ship. That's the only thing we spent money on.
Well, if we've any luck, that ship will lead us right to him.
I make my own luck, Liam. And Washington is running out of his.
That's not how luck works, Shay. And you should know that. For the phrase luck of the Irish does apply to you. Oh, wow, that's a lot of fog.
Aye. There she is. All right, man. Time to be quiet.
Oh, good. Ship tailing mission.
Slave owner and a leading Templar. We lost track of
We'll want to slow down, I think.
I recently learned he was in Barbados, but I haven't been able to confirm that.
Now you think he had something to do with the theft of the artifacts, don't you?
I wouldn't put it past him. Haiti's a short voyage from Barbados, and his return to the colonies certainly coincides with the arrival of the artifacts. We cannot let the Templars get control of these colonies. Whatever happens, Lawrence Washington must not survive.
I'll make sure he doesn't.
They're coming after us, sir! It's a gunboat! Royal Navy! They seem to be on their own, sir!
Clue up! Clue up!
Oh, damn.
Fucking Royal Navy. I'm sure more than one person has said that over the years.
How about Lee's surrender at McLean House just to add insult to injury for the whoopee cushion? If that's where you want to deploy it.
Aye. There she is! All right, man. Time to be quiet.
Lawrence Washington is a powerful businessman, slave owner.
I want to slow down a bit.
We lost track of him about a year ago. I recently learned he was in Barbados. I haven't been able to confirm that.
Now you think he had something to do with the theft of the artifacts, don't you?
Where would you deploy the whoopee cushion?
Haiti's a short voyage
I'm
from
not
Barbados,
sure.
and his return to the colonies
I
certainly
guess,
coincides with the arrival of the artifacts. We cannot let the Templars get control of these colonies. Whatever happens, Lawrence Washington must not survive.
I'll make sure he doesn't.
Gunboat incoming. Young.
Oh god, it's turning with us. And I hit an island. I don't think I've got this one.
No. I think you need to set up and start going behind the island after that, so probably need to speed up there. But...
Yeah.
Aye. There she is.
So perhaps
Right,
a good
man.
time to deploy the
Time
whoopee
to be
cushion is
quiet.
anyone who goes, who's like
owner,
public
a leading
declaration
Templar.
asking for a
Lost
sign
track
from
of him about
God,
a year ago.
and then just
I recently
when
learned he was in
they're
Barbados.
and then
I
when
haven't
they're
been able
going,
to confirm that.
God, show me a sign, and
Now,
just have someone in the background going,
Now you think he had something to do with the theft of the artifacts, don't you?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Okay,
80's
down
a
a
short
little.
voyage from Barbados.
Turn.
And his return to the colonies certainly coincides with the arrival of the artifacts. We cannot let the Templars get control of these colonies.
No,
Whatever happens,
you want to go round that
Lawrence
island?
Washington must not survive.
I'll make sure he doesn't. Top gallants, royal studs!
Oh.
Yeah. So, when you approach that island, you want it on your right-hand side.
Aye.
Just make sure
There
you
she
don't
is.
go too quickly,
All right,
that
men.
you're in the
Time to be quiet.
view of the target
Lawrence
beforehand.
Washington is a powerful businessman, a slave owner, and a leading Templar. We lost track of him about a year ago. I recently learned he was in Barbados, but I haven't been able to confirm that.
How about Harold McMillan's Wind of Change speech? Just for
Now
the
you
extra
think he had
irony.
something to do with
That
the
would be
theft
good
of the
too.
artifacts, don't you?
I wouldn't put it past him. 80's a short voyage from Barbados. His return to the colonies
I
certainly
mean,
coincides
I'd
with the
do
arrival of the
Queen
artifacts.
Elizabeth's coronation.
We cannot let the Templars get control of these
First or the
colonies.
second?
Whatever
Well, I
happens,
was thinking the second,
Lawrence
but the
Washington must
first
not
would be
survive.
funnier.
I'll make sure he doesn't.
Okay, you want to go around the island. Around the island.
Down the island.
As much sail as you can.
We are headed straight for land, sir.
No, we're not. Because I turned it just in time.
Yeah.
This won't do. Shay, you must follow that ship on land.
I'll do that. Bring the Morrigan around another way.
I can track that package and find Washington.
It's the shore undetected. This is going to play
Shay,
havoc with my powder.
What I said, Shay. Washington must die.
Washington.
Well, we've got the fiddly ship trailing down.
Yeah.
By trailing with the ship, rather, we are trailing a ship.
Yeah. Certainly endeavouring to.
It's a boat, I'm a person, how do you expect me to keep up with it?
Yeah. Frankly,
I can only move so fast.
Aye.
We scared the dog. Probably the most evil thing we've done in most of these games.
yeah.
Stop! Stop! I'll have your life. You gotta press engagement.
Luckily, we don't have to be stealthy at this point. That's very much not how those swords are meant to be used.
Yeah.
Is it looting time? Might be looting time. Oh no, it's combat again.
Some of these animations are the old familiar.
Fire blade, seek a vengeance.
Or during the Granita Pact, I'd have Tony Blair sit on it. You'd suspect Gordon Brown was responsible, and Gordon Brown would have accused Tony Blair of a cheap false flag.
Stop, you! Oh, let's have a word, chum. Trying to give us respect, maggot?
I put it to the right honourable member that he who smelt it, dealt it. And then the QI klaxon goes off.
Yeah.
Let me do what? Oh, you mean draw the sword that I murdered a lot of people with and haven't yet cleaned the blood off of? Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Treasure chest just behind you.
Oh, yes.
Amazing how the sword is the most efficient. The foot is the most efficient way of opening chests.
Yeah, he went to the Dark Souls school of chest opening where they might be a mimic. So you gotta hit it first to make sure it's not.
Yes, but it's not a Soulsborne game, so. Oh. You can loot that you're just standing on. I think it's the other side. Yep. Tobacco.
As long as it's
Mine and Gandalf's pipes shall be full tonight.
Yeah. As long as it's not the medical school of chest opening. Ah.
What? With Dr. Bear? What are we doing today? Oh, what of you? If you just go a bit further back, you could probably just loot what we need to.
What's this?
Oh.
A rifle.
You there! Stay! Where? You.
How can that be? It makes no sound.
Made a lot of sound, actually, but,
Thanks for the present, Master Washington.
We have a gun.
The air rifle is an efficient silent range weapon which can use sleep or berserk darts as well as grenades and firecrackers.
This is a strange surprise. Not quite what I was expecting. Now I must find Washington.
Oh, we can assassinate him. Chest just to the side again. Other way. You look on the mini map, it's on there.
Yeah, I got it. Oh.
Human shield.
Oh. I didn't spot it. I just got an advert from... Bro, you got
You're about to be shot again. Okay, they did the animation for that very well. You're probably going to want to get up the tower to deal with... Oh, no, he's on the ground, isn't he? You'll probably still want to make sure he's dead.
Okay, it's,
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. It's a management probably the clientele. The leader of the opposition just walked into a restaurant, sat down, and immediately proceeded to break wind. Oh my god, is that Tony Blair in my restaurant? Yeah, it is. Did Tony Blair just bark? As long as it's not the minister. There was a very weird line delivery of the gun sound. Body, feeling weak. Bro, you got shot, you're not William Shatner. I just got an advert from Oregon claiming the word that famine is the only offensive F word. Who's in charge of their advertising? That was a humorous body toss. Huh. Oh. Oh.
Giving you the basics of how stealth works in this game.
Yeah. Unless
like
I'm much...
5 missions in. Sorry.
Unless I'm much mistaken, I think I'm about to get the 5-minute warning.
It'll be soon, yes, but you're still in the mission, so it's quite helpful for us when the target decides to put up a literal fireworks display.
Yeah.
To show where they are.
Mighty courteous of them. There we go, 5-minute warning.
Yeah. Okay, if you eagle vision, try and locate the target.
I mean, I knew I would be because I checked the time on it just now.
Yeah.
Don't know why I said unless I'm mistaken. They're just kneecap sentences, I suppose.
Yeah.
What's so special about this party? Who knows? All I've been told is
So special is that you're not going to survive it. And those two people are not going to care that they just saw someone get stabbed
I need to
and
get to
dragged into
Washington
the...
first. Then I'll worry about the artifacts.
The artifacts that belong in a museum.
It belongs in a museum. So do you.
He does now. Have you seen him? And he's got another film coming out. Isn't that The Dial of Destiny or something like that?
Wouldn't let me assassinate the man.
Not on the bit where you could then climb higher.
You telling me he can't grab those bars?
It's because he can't then climb higher because he's got a roof over his head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nope, I'm going to... Oh, bother.
Stab the British. Oh, bugger.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to get this mission done in the time. Do you want to tag in?
Yeah, okay.
Given that we did have to cut your turn short for internet reasons.
Because technology.
It's the most uneasy alliance I've ever had.
Hmm. And there have been some pretty dubious alliances in our time.
Yeah.
The Lib Dems and the Conservatives, for one. Sorry, Seb, but that was not a good alliance.
Well, it was more like an abusive relationship. I think Seb used to write a show called Politics, which would have parody versions of politicians. And one of the things I remember is the version of David Cameron when Nick Clegg walks in going, "I told you to wait in the car!"
Yes.
That would have been a good time for a whoopee cushion. Get Cameron and Clegg arguing over who planted the whoopee cushion. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry for the grunts on the stream, by the way. I'm not feeling great.
Yeah. I wonder, what's the whoopee cushion how they decided to name Whoopi Goldberg?
I need to get to Washington first. Then I'll worry about the artifacts.
How old are whoopee cushions as a thing? Is it possible that it was named after Whoopi Goldberg? Yeah, she invented it.
And one thing I remember seeing is we always said that something is the best thing since sliced bread, but Betty White was older than sliced bread, so sliced bread was the best thing since Betty White. Apparently, we just unlocked a cheat. I'm just enjoying the air rifle, I'll be utterly honest.
It is good. It's very satisfying to use.
A hell of a lot simpler than every other bit we've got. That's a grenade.
And doesn't require superhuman lungs.
No. And it can also clear out a group of guards so much quicker by just getting them to die.
Huh. Apparently we just unlocked a cheat when you start a prison break and free a notorious philanderer.
Fornicators? Any fornicators? Yes, if you could just... My god, there are a lot of you. Yes, if you could just form a queue in front of that miniature guillotine.
Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah.
I am the devil, but you can call me Toby if you like. And that's just a little joke.
I keep things here informal as well as infernal. That's just a little joke. I tell it every time. Yes, thank you.
Hold a moment. Come on, lad.
Oh, come on. Well, somehow that took a while to be noticed at the garden party. Ah. It's not even particularly hard, this mission. It's just we apparently got awful at stealth.
It's just very unforgiving. Huh. You'd think with all the stealth games we play.
Yeah, apparently we're still god awful at them all. This is an ambitious shot. Too ambitious, I would say, looking at it. You can be angry. That's essentially what this is. The who are we going to make angry?
I need to get to Washington first. Then I'll worry about the artifacts.
At the expense of everyone around them.
Yeah, at the expense of everyone around them's life. You, sir, should be more worried about your friend going absolutely berserk in the corner. I should also be more worried about your friend going absolutely berserk in the corner. Hey, some berserk darts.
Yeah.
There you go. Be angry. I'll just sit here. Oh look, 2 of them are angry. And 1 died from an anger-induced heart attack, I'm assuming. Well, it is just Scarlet Pimpernel. Those awful suicide pills.
It's the Scarlet Pimpernel and you've killed it.
There you go. If you're going to fall for the old poison wine routine, what's the bloody point?
Did you know that the regions of France and Emmanuel Macron won last year's lineup perfectly with provinces possessed by England in 1154?
I think I've found the target. Yeah, I go to shoot him, but it reveals.
Are you sure you shouldn't be in bed?
I am fine, George.
Oh, that's George.
Be a good host for my sake. Go to the wine cellar and get something special for our guests.
I will. Gentlemen?
What did the shooter that calls it to go berserk?
My brother is a bright spot in a troubled land. If I may make one request before I depart this life, please leave him in peace. He should have nothing to do with the troubles of the Templar cause.
We all respect that sentiment, sir.
You have my thanks, gentlemen. Master Smith, are you ready to leave on your voyage?
Aye, sir. I shall return with answers.
Master Wardrop, are you likewise engaged with the manuscript?
Yes, sir. We will soon
Something
know his
special for our guests. Shall I get them a bottle of wine? Yes.
The rate this is going, we're not going to need to kill him. He's going to die at the table.
Washington can barely stand on his own 2 feet. Better be right about him, Liam. Because I'm about to murder a dying man.
No, bollocks, bollocks. I mean, oh, come on!
That was a bit of a delayed reaction.
Yes, so I was in the bush somewhere else.
Comes back with
Barely
Ferrero
stand on his
Rocher.
own 2
Oh.
feet. Better be right about him, Liam. Because I'm about to murder a dying man.
Those two can fight each other to the death. Bugger. Got too close.
Washington can barely stand on his own 2 feet. Better be right about him, Liam. Because I'm about to murder a dying man.
This way so far seems the most sensible direction to go in.
My God, it's good. Ha! Ha! Indeed! Indeed!
Get down.
He's doing an admirable
But if you ever
job.
wanted to know who'd... Fine, I'll do your job. There. See, was it really that hard?
Congratulations on surviving the other guy, but I'm afraid this is where that ends.
Congratulations, you survived a minute. No, a few seconds, really.
Leaving Stan saying get down into the zone. This soundtrack feels kind of weird for the series.
Yes. How many garden parties have we realistically gone to?
Yeah, that's
that was
true.
hosted by the Washingtons.
Yeah. Stab the British.
Oh wow! I expected it to fall forwards.
It's very Harry Potter.
I'm sorry, Lawrence Washington, but you're going to be angry when you die.
He's gonna die mad about whatever he's mad about.
You are too late, assassin.
It's never too
Apparently,
late to ruin
Shay Cormac
Templar
can
plans,
teleport.
Master Washington.
But my plans are already in motion. Even leading you here has given my allies time to escape.
Secretly, the assassins are all Italian. Reborn again and again and again.
And thank you for revealing your master plan.
You didn't know us?
Snake.
Yeah, that Shay could teleport.
Yeah.
So what else are going to need to use a smoke bomb here? Right there, time to run. Need to find the Morrigan. Yeah, it's like I admire your the smoke darts you're giving me, but could you
Better hurry. Liam, I hope you brought the ship around. It's not a ship mortar! That's not sporting!
It's not cricket, as they say.
Oh, he's Irish, so they don't give a flying beep about cricket. Okay, the Volga has lost half its health. No looting. I was expecting to climb over that, I'll be brutally honest.
Yeah.
Morgan has definitely seen better days under our control already. Yes, yes, I am aware. I am trying to climb up my ship right now. Come on. Ah. Cool, just as I get on it, the ship dies. No looting for you today, Shay Callback. You okay?
Yep.
God damn it.
I was like, man was about to try and hit me with a cello.
You brought the ship around.
Sorry, I got distracted there.
Yeah. Running, running, running.
Running, 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 running.
Stay back if you know what's good for you.
Is that a ship mortar? That's not sporting! Out of the way!
Hey!
That was a bit of a glitch.
Get out! You're in my way!
Running, 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 running.
Out of the way! Get out! You're in my way! Damn it, what's the news?
Yeah. Me not trying to kill you is a mercy! Hey, Shay. Shay, darling. We know you're stressed, but that wasn't the wheel.
Huh.
Running, 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 running.
Huh.
Oh, this is going to be bad. It's fire.
More than one, sir. Chinese are hit them, sir. They're too strong for us. You're no match for us. We're going to hit them.
Yes, that is sort of the plan.
Fire! All down! All down! On your mark, Captain!
Turn, because that is land.
Into the wind! Fill the sails!
Don't know where exactly we're meant to be going, but this way will do.
They're firing, sir! Fasten yourself! They'll sink us! In us, sir!
No, Dante.
Our ships in dire shape, Captain!
Where on earth are these shots coming from?
They're firing, sir! Brace for impact! They're firing, sir!
Okay, there's one, like, here.
Cliff ahead! Change course, Captain!
Yes, I'm aware. I'm trying to... to dodge it. Absolutely, it's stressful being a pirate.
Yeah.
Lawrence Washington is dead.
You look disappointed.
The sickly way that man looked. He would have been dead in a month anyway. And 2 other Templars got away. They're looking into the manuscript and box.
Did they have the artifacts?
I don't know. Perhaps. I can't be sure.
Then you did what was right by the Brotherhood. Find the object. Cheer up, Shay. It's a rare day we could sow such chaos among the Templars.
Perhaps. But to hear Washington speak, it didn't sound like they'd be too put out by the loss.
Well, that's what he'd want you to do.
Ah! The world has ended! That sudden wash of white.
Yeah.
The memory appears to be fragmented. How much time has passed?
A few months, I think. That virus is cutting off our access to complete memories. They're readable, but messy.
The 7 Years' War will soon break out.
Nearly an entire year.
Focus on assassin interference.
We'll do our best. Won't we, numbskull?
Oh good, a numbskull.
So grim about the homestead now that Miss Abigail and little Connor have passed.
Aye. I've seen Achilles crying.
Why shouldn't he?
It's just that he doesn't look sad. He looks furious. It's unsettling.
He's struggling with the loss. We all are.
I know, but it's been months, and we've done little but search for this blasted manuscript and box.
Le Chasseur has a lead on the box. To meet him and Chevalier in St. John's.
Chevalier too? No hope of cheering me up then. But Achilles said whoever had the artifact would access sites of great power.
I'm not sure I understand it myself, Shane. Long talk without a water. He believes the box will be
Achilles,
activated.
can you bring him to heal?
Project words or images.
Adam. No bollocks, that did not go well.
The dogs have friends, sir! Fire! Incoming ship! Not friendly! Schooner! Fire! Royal Navy! They have help, Captain! Fire! Not but air! Careful! It's quite a rough squall, Captain.
Board! Board!
Like a magic.
He do not have the health not to repair the ship right now. Not the rigging, Shay. This.
There we go.
The ship is ours! Rip every plank out of it and repair the Morrigan. Because our health is god awful.
It's gone.
Oh, we have barely any to begin with, so...
What do you mean?
You know the magic lantern shows Father Connolly put on in the church basement? The box had a candle in it, I think. He put these little glass plates in front. Then we'd see the images projected on the wall like cathedrals in Rome. Bright and near as big as life.
Ah, yeah. I suppose it is. Except that it interprets the strange language of the manuscript, too. If the plate were of a banner in Latin, we'd see it in English.
How is that possible?
Who knows? I fear we might never truly understand how any of the pieces of Eden work.
The what of who?
Where in the world has the most beautiful girls?
I suppose it depends on your vision of beauty. A damsel from Corfu and one from Oslo are as different as chalk and cheese, but both could be lovely.
If only there was some sort of metaphor about how if you repaired a ship often enough, it would basically be a different ship one day.
Yes, yes. If only someone could think of it. Yeah, unlike Black Flag and Freedom's Cry, there isn't underwater segments in this one.
Oh,
hence
good.
why the water hurts to be in it.
It hurts to be in water.
Yeah, because we're in the frozen water of the North Atlantic.
Oh yeah, well it will.
Did you not see the warnings pop up that says the water damage is you?
No, I don't think I did. I must not have spotted it. I am not on it today.
Yeah, spent too long in the cold water and it will kill you.
Brace! Brace!
I'm going to release because we might be able to go in the bleeping cabin. Yay! Let's see the cabin. I mean, we for goodness sake, we have a double bed and an armory. Quite a well-equipped armory so far.
In the captain's cabin. And a
Yeah.
personal cannon, it seems.
Yes, it does seem that way. So what can we do? We can have better hull armor. Can't do that, can't do that. Can increase the strength of that, but I think hull armor is more important.
I thought you said spend too much time in the Cold War. Huh.
Yeah, I'll increase the armor, given how badly our health got mauled last time. Okay, anything else? No, we can't even upgrade our harpoon strength anymore. But our hull is stronger. And thus the Morrigan becomes less the Morrigan, but at the same time, more Morrigan.
Yeah.
We must also remember this is a much smaller ship than the last two we commanded.
Captain's trick!
Get the maids free! See, opinions like that give a man a reputation for wisdom.
Yeah, thank you.
I would have just said Havana. The girls there have lusty buttocks and bosoms and feel no shame in putting them on display. But that's no slight against our lasses from home.
I suppose.
I think Galway has the nicest ones. Fair and modest. Always willing to spot you a penny for an ale.
You don't say.
And then there's the maids I met in Italy. Destined for the convent they were. Dark-eyed and kindly dispositioned. If only I'd spoke Portuguese. Not that we spent much of our nights talking.
Opinions like that give a man an entirely different reputation.
Fire! Ease off the wind!
Incoming!
Fire!
They're giving chase! Schooner by the rigging! Royal Navy!
Bloody cowards! Cops, gallants, royals!
Oh, that looked like it was about to survive that.
Yeah.
Ow. Yeah, we're not going to get to that. We don't need to repair it. Let's earn some good old pounds.
Yes.
We're not quite at the point where we could just crash into them and then board them. If only there was some artist who was of the opinion that everyone that sees itself as a little bit it's Irish and believes that everyone will just buy into the kit of it, as it were.
Yeah.
Buy any old shit that sort of advertises it, because he was not flattering to his fans about that. And that's how you take over a ship, lads.
Yep.
Barely alive, but still. You annoyed me. I'm not even going to take parts of your ship to repair mine. I'm just going to take your ship apart. Okay, let's get back to the mission now.
And sell it for firewood.
If you're lucky. Or if it's lucky. You're not going to be on it by that point.
I want to play the game about his Somalian great-great-grandchild.
Oh.
And where it went, I swear I can't remember. So down to the tops.
Oh, that's a nasty wind. Rather like Henry VIII with that whoopee cushion.
Yeah. Huh.
Of course, we can only say sort of figures from the past. There'll probably be a fantastic figure to hit in the future. Like, say, in a week's time at a certain coronation.
It came full
It's
circle.
fucking windy!
Careful. It's quite a rough squall, Cap.
Holding up okay?
Just about.
Oh, sounds like there's a big fight going on nearby.
Loose and trip too.
Yeah, there's a schooner there. I can hear cannons.
All sail, shall take it.
Oh, that's our ally, man of war. We'll leave them to it. I'm not getting in the middle of that. Especially as there's an even bigger British man of war right behind them. And a brig. Yeah, let's not get involved in that. We may have higher health, but they're outnumbered 4-1.
We're almost there, Captain. The chasseur will be expecting us.
And Chevalier.
At a small price to pay for a lead in the precursor box.
Trim the yards off the wind.
Hey, we've got 8 cannons now rather than 4.
Ah, very good.
Ease off the wind.
And they're all just going, can't he leave the ship like a normal man? And we're all
No.
going, no, obviously not. It's not dramatic enough.
It's not right for his idiom.
What's his idiom? I don't know. He's an idiom. No, not yet. Do not want to talk to you yet. I will talk to you after I've climbed this. It also means finding a broken window by the looks of it. There's also... I know I've passed the bit where your dad's synchronized, but either the sun is very low in the sky or that's a collectible. And I
Yeah.
can't get Shay to... Oh god, my screen's going again.
Oh no. Prosperity. I missed that. Prosperity increases something.
I just saw with prosperity. No! You fool!
Well, at least you didn't die.
Mr. Cormac. Yeah, no, but I didn't synchronize either.
Yeah.
Ooh, a ladder. That might be easier. Ooh, here we are, pretending to be civilized. Ooh, a ladder. Why not just simply do the thing they'd say? Oh, grow up.
Yeah.
I misread bullets then. I could have sworn it said biscuits.
Brilliant. Plus times 1 biscuits.
Yeah. You know how they say there's a bullet with your name in it?
Yes.
It's actually a biscuit.
Huh.
Well, I thought if I owned the bullet with my name on it, I'd never get hit by it. Because I'm never going to shoot myself.
No,
What's a
shame.
pity. And the chances of there being 2 bullets with my name on it are very slim indeed. Very small indeed.
Yes, it's not the only thing.
See what else is
very small,
very small indeed.
Your brain,
brain, for example,
is so
hungry
minute,
cannibal would...
Baldric, that if a hungry cannibal cracked your head open, there wouldn't be enough inside to cover a small water biscuit.
Chevalier, what happened to your vessel?
I got myself into a bit of a scrape. Sent 3 ships in our land to their watery grave. The Garfou nearly followed them down.
Just your fate has been better, Le Chasseur.
Indeed. My sources inform me that Samuel Smith has searched far and wide, looking for answers on how to make that strange box work. He just returned from Europe.
Where's he now?
Refitting his schooner. If you hurry, you can catch him there.
Oh, remember those
Wait,
blueprints?
why are you talking like that? You're not even French.
Build that marvelous weapon for your ship. Master Pucker's gun fires more shots than an artillery brigade, and twice as fast.
Many thanks.
Anything for my hooded friends.
Puckle guns.
Yeah. You now have them.
Huh. free aim the puckle gun.
Captain?
I will join you on this voyage.
Then shall we, gentlemen?
You are in a jovial mood, Shay?
Why shouldn't I be? I have a new weapon, and will soon have a chance to use it. Besides, Templars are usually well guarded, and I'm sure that Smith fellow is no exception.
We also took the liberty of ordering some improvements. Morgan now has a ram to cut through ice itself.
I have heard of such technology, but never witnessed its operation.
What about Smith, then? Is he close by?
Okay, let's
he
just
sails these very waters,
crack into
and
the
he may
lights
have the
then.
precursor box.
We'll miss it.
Then let's find him.
Wow, my speed goes badly.
Give me some speed! As much...
I said he was in the schooner. There's the schooner. There's the one, yeah.
There he is. Most fortunate timing. Lady Luck never ceases to smile on you.
He's seen us! Give chase!
But hold your fire. We must not damage the box or risk losing it to the sea. Can't these blockades go any faster?
At least my ship is still seaworthy, Chevalier.
Our target is a smart man, but out of his element here.
Oh, we've got 4 buckle guns.
Maybe he came here to meet someone, or ran into your pirates. He's refitting his ship. Something must have happened.
If one of my allies attacked him, I would have known that.
But he's back from a long voyage. Now's our chance to get him.
Smith controls most of the Templars well, doesn't he? With him out of the way...
Washington entrusted the precursor box to him. He probably still has it.
Shane's right. Box comes first.
So we can't sink him. We'll have to board his ship, or force him to beach.
Yeah, we can't also go any faster.
Look, Captain. He's cutting through the ice.
It seems you're not the only one equipped with such a ram, Shay.
Let us hope ours fares just as well.
This ice sheet can't stop us!
It worked. The way is clear.
Once more, your fortune holds. But do not waste time congratulating yourself. Smith is getting away.
We are going as fast as we can.
It's an ambush!
Envoyez ces diables d'enfer! Smith must not escape!
Unfurled mains! Flat through! Fire! Fire!
Ready here!
Fire! Fire!
Loaded, Captain!
Fire!
They're exposed! Take Take him a hit, Captain! There, sir!
Fire! Fire!
Report. What's our status?
Fire!
Oh,
No, I was meant to happen story-wise.
oh, we're being boarded.
Okay, that's new. We're losing a lot of crew.
Time to start balancing the loss count out. Kills from the enemies. Stab the British.
Trying to, but
Even you get boarded sometimes. Do you think we had a choice?
That wasn't what I wanted either. That was what I wanted.
So Cormac's not exactly Blackbeard, is he?
No. Then again, Blackbeard only was active for about 2 and a bit years.
Yeah.
You're celebrating a bit early there, shipping ratings. Sink the enemy ship. How about we rip it apart for parts? Or money. Our health is high enough that we can just salvage it. Ooh,
Yeah.
900.
£900. Oh, what I wouldn't give for £900.
I don't see Smith's ship. There's Smith. He's moving again.
No doubt he hoped to be a spectator of your demise.
I'm glad to disappoint him. And he's still within reach.
We've
Let's get moving.
regained some of the crew from those we murdered.
I'm in the midst of a casual Star Wars chronological rewatch. I just finished the Bad Batch. I think it's Rebels next.
Yes. Unless something's... Actually, it might be Kenobi next.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Possibly Andor. Before Kenobi. I'm not sure when Andor is set, so...
I think Andor is set,
Careful, Shay. We could be burnt to cinders.
It's nothing
Andor
more
is
than a
before
last
Rebels.
desperate
Oh,
throw
good.
of the dice. He knows we have him.
Yeah.
I like Andor, it's very good. Kenobi and Solo
Yeah,
happen around the same time.
And to know where sort of like a thing to note, Ezra, Luke and Leia are near enough the same age. Because Ezra was born on the day that the Empire was declared, and Padme gave birth shortly thereafter.
Yeah. They're trying to Spanish Armada us.
Barson has an encampment here.
Follow him on land. Do not even think of firing the ship's weapons near that precious box.
I'll take care of this.
I did not even think of it. I just did. I just fired near the box. There was no thinking involved. Oh, for God's sake.
Thwart you with our first weather? Very good.
Okay, we've suddenly gained rope darts out of nowhere. Okay, so we've hit a 5 enemy kill streak. Just need to hit the 7 for the Abstergo challenges.
Yeah.
Come on, you can climb that. That's not too hard, honest. Okay, apparently you can't, so, where's the air rifle?
Not as up for climbing as some of his predecessors, eh?
No, apparently not. Sleep. Go to sleep.
In my sights, clear as day.
That was rather gentlemanly of you as a berserker to wait till he got back on his feet before stabbing him.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect
You did
timing.
wonderful there. Yes. You killed him at the last possible moment you could. We will be your end, assassin.
Yeah, just a second. I'll
Will
be
you?
right with you.
Yeah, I need all of these darts.
Berserker.
There, you can be angry. You're gonna die angry, but you will be surrounded by your mates. They'll be the ones stabbing you.
This cannot be.
Democratically killed Templar. One man, one stab.
An ancient artifact. Treasure from those who came before.
Yes. It matters not. Some of the greatest
But what of
scientific
he
minds
who
of all
remains?
Europe could not make it work.
Now all I need is the manuscript, and all shall be revealed.
For supposedly an advanced piece of Eden, that looks awfully wooden.
Yeah. Think I'll go to sleep soon. Remember setting the alarm. Yep, fair enough.
We can now drop burning oil. Look backwards and hold L2.
There we
Aye.
go.
Oh, good. And apparently, holding a triangle switches to a rear view. That would have been helpful to know earlier.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one has questioned him about the sudden acquisition of the strange rifle on his back.
Yeah. I mean,
Also, apparently we're in Terra Nova.
apparently so.
Yeah, no, Shay does not like climbing rocks in the slightest. Now let's get back to the ship. I think you have come down with a case of extreme anger. I mean, he started screaming like a Saiyan.
Yeah.
In which sometimes you got to think in Dragon Ball that perhaps Frieza did the universe a favour by taking the Saiyans out, given how angry they are, and also how high they could potentially get in terms of power. Like, if he hadn't killed them, they might have killed the galaxy.
Incidentally,
Or the universe. Granted, Frieza's not that far away from doing that, but there's only sort of one of him.
Yeah.
Compared to a planet of Saiyans. Oh, I watched the thing of top 20 anime fights that blew us away.
Yeah.
The only entry from Dragon Ball was everyone versus Cell Max. And like, it's a good fight, but it's not the best fight in Super.
No.
So I don't know why
Dragon
that.
Ball.
Yeah. Because, you know, the original fight to get Goku versus Perfect Cell, everyone versus Vegeta and Nappa.
Yeah.
Smith's dead.
Yeah.
Well done.
Or sort of like Jiren versus Ultra Instinct Goku.
To celebrate without him, I'm afraid.
Just everything in Broly.
I feel like celebrating, Liam. I know we have to get these artifacts back, but at what cost? Samuel Smith. He could barely hold his sword straight. Killing him was
necessary.
But
nothing.
I
Smith
think
is a dangerous man, a Templar. And What's worse?
Yeah, it's very much
he
the
had the
attitude
precursor box.
that
You should be proud of yourself, Shay.
Jay has.
We
It's
should
sort
head
of
for
like a
Albany
level of
then.
honour that means
James Wardle,
fighting
fellow Lord's
those who
Watchman,
are
gave the manuscript
not
to
able
Maria.
to defend themselves.
Sigawasi reported that
Dishonest.
James Wardle had many
Yeah.
tribes from ancestral lands. We have proof that he's behind countless massacres. He's one of the most devious and ruthless men in the colonies.
He uses the letter of the law to serve his purposes. And when the law does not bend to him, he gets lawmakers to bend it for him.
Mark my word, Shay. James Wardrop's a bureaucrat. He doesn't care how his actions affect others.
We're now to fast travel.
I don't know what I'd say is the best fight scene in Dragon Ball.
It is subjective, but it's sort of like you're looking for one of the moments that rocked us in sort of like in all of anime and in all of Dragon Ball, and you go for
Everyone versus Cell Max. I mean, that was my least favourite part of the movie, to be honest.
yeah.
I mean, and it wasn't
we
bad, it's just the rest of the film was better.
Yeah, they're just rehashing the entirety of the Cell tournament, or the Cell games, that's it. Including Gohan's gaining a transformation when someone he is emotionally invested in appears to kick the bucket.
Yeah. Well, the movies do rip off the show, it's always been a thing.
Yeah, but admittedly, it did give Piccolo a good showing.
Yeah. Piccolo, being Orange Piccolo now,
yeah.
We've now got 4 people in the immediate main character roster who could basically have soloed the Tournament of Power.
And so goes the theory.
Yeah.
5 if you include the manga.
Who's the 5th?
Technically, actually, got Frieza Black.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or Black Frieza, given that he could solo more powerful versions of Goku and Vegeta, and Gas, the supposedly the most powerful being in the universe.
Not just solo, one shot. So if Piccolo versus 17 was a good fight, it was.
Yeah. That's probably the best fight Piccolo has had in a long time in Dragon Ball. That one, because he really got to show off, and at the time he was the most powerful, or sort of like, not much before that when he was fighting in Perfect Cell. He was the most powerful being in the franchise.
Yeah. For about 10 minutes.
Then in Perfect Cell ate a few cities, and Piccolo no longer quite so powerful.
Yeah.
I just did that to synchronize. I wasn't trying to get the fragment, but here's for us travel to where we want to go, or am I sailing? Oh, looks like I'm still sailing.
Loose and trip too.
Yeah, that wasn't really a fight, as you say. That was
a murder.
Yeah, yeah, that the crime definitely occurred there.
Yeah.
Though to be fair, that was to
prevent
stop another
one.
Yeah. And stop Zamasu becoming Supreme Kai, and therefore being able to use the time rings. Yeah. I'm just getting to this island because there's a treasure chest, and then we'll swap over. There's also someone who looks very angry there. It's all like, oh no, he's fishing.
Yeah. I like how Beerus
He'll be angry.
makes you remember he's threatening. Yeah. But come on, Goku's stronger than Beerus at this point. He's gotta be.
I would like it if there is sort of like that's Beerus in just his base form, and there is sort of like a destroyer form, like how Topo had
Yeah.
his destroyer form.
Yeah.
And I've just been kicked off, so
I'll invite you back and tag in. I'm not certain I've got another hour in me, to be honest, but I'll do my best.
yeah, if needs be, you can kick it back to me for a bit.
Yeah.
And unless you're saying you've not got an hour left, another hour, and you include sort of the whole stream, then that's fair enough.
Blue's down! Catch some
I don't want to cut it short because you're not here next week.
Yes, but we shall have to try, certainly this week we'll have to try and get a bonus one in, given that this will be the third one in 6 weeks that we've not been able to do.
Here's the city of Albany, the greatest frontier town of them all.
Yes, after next weekend, shouldn't have to miss one until Father's Day.
Yeah.
And that's because my dad is down, so, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, and then after that one, the next one I know currently that I won't be able to make, or seems unlikely I'll be able to make, is the 16th of September. So that's the day after my cousin's wedding.
Ah, I see.
And unlike my last cousin to get married, he's not on the other side of the planet.
Which is always handy.
Yeah, because my first cousin to get married is from lives in Australia, so not easy to get to.
Oh, I'd say not. Huh.
Mm.
I don't know how anyone chooses to live in Australia.
They were born in Hong Kong, spent a short while in England between moving from Hong Kong to Australia.
Right.
Yeah. How much longer do we think it'll take to complete the series? We can probably get through this Unity and Syndicate probably by the end of July. Well, probably before then if we really tried, but after that, when it starts going full modern RPG elements, God knows. God knows.
And also the series is still ongoing, so...
Yeah.
There will likely be another one.
In theory, there'll be another one by the time we, well, there'll definitely be another one by the time we finish Valhalla. Because, that could quite... Because there's one coming out later this year. There's no way we're getting through all of them before or June.
Yeah.
Not unless we started streaming 7 days a week.
Nah.
And you already stream a lot as it is.
Yeah. I've added another date on the schedule now. I'm seeing how it goes. Because people are enjoying the XCOM run that I'm doing.
Yes.
So I thought I'd give that its own time slot.
Yeah, but we'll see how you do. We'll see if we can get a bonus one in this week or next week.
Yeah.
Because of course you're doing a lot. And also you're 100%.
Yeah, I'll find the time to fit one in.
Yeah.
We the people.
You're here.
Why'd you
Congress
ask,
is still in
Seb? Are you
session.
that sick of them?
George Washington and his militia have fired on French troops under Jumonville.
Yeah.
The French are calling it an act of war.
George Washington. You mean Lawrence's younger brother?
Yeah, it's the same. Speaking of Lawrence Washington, but you eliminated him. James Wardrop has moved up in ranks. All the Templar resources are at
I
his
have
disposal.
no frame of reference for how many
What
games
about the
are there.
manuscript?
My sources in New York
well,
confirm that Wardrop has it. I also
We
learned
didn't
that he
do the
is here at the
Chronicles
Congress.
games, although I have them, so we
Shay,
could.
Find Wardrop. Get that manuscript.
Not doing the ones on the phone
Meanwhile,
because
make sure he doesn't
screw
see.
that.
But the
Yeah,
console
so-
ones, there is this one, the next was Unity, I believe, and then Syndicate. And then I think it was Origins, and we went into full
Origins,
RPG.
Odyssey, Valhalla, and then it'll be Mirage by the end of it.
Yeah. And then we'll be done until another one comes out.
Which I believe will be Codename Red.
Yeah.
The one set in Japan is the next one.
But fear not, Assassin's Sunday will not lie
end.
dormant. I mean,
Yes, because there was
I'd be okay with doing Ghost of Tsushima as a tide over, but even apart from that, we have decided that we had this conversation. We agreed that as long as assassination was the focus, it would count, and therefore we would be moving on to the Hitman series.
Yes.
That must be the Templar William Johnson. Perhaps he has the manuscript, or knows where it is.
Yes, there'll be the Hitman series, and then we can also do, as it's by the same company and similar gameplay to the Assassin's Creed up to Syndicate, the Shadow of games, where we also then play war games with orcs.
Yeah. Although,
To put it bluntly, the colonies must join or die.
Join or die moment, wonderful.
Speech, Master Franklin. But do you truly believe Great Britain
Hollywood
will
looks like a mascot.
They have little choice, Master Johnson. You know the remoteness of this frontier better than most.
Yes, but let us leave politics for another day. I wanted to thank you for your research.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
In the brief time I could examine that box, I could tell it was something unique. From ancient Egypt, you said? Well, as I mentioned in my letter, I am quite ready to electrify it.
Excellent. We will have the box delivered shortly. As for the manuscript, Captain?
Now we're going to need to...
Sir, but Master Wardrop refused to hand it over. He said the risks were too great.
The risks? I apologize. You will have the manuscript and the box in the briefest of delays. You mangy excuse for a uniform. Run to Fort Frederick and tell Master Wardrop he had better cough up the manuscript post-haste. Else I will have him scalped.
That is very aggressive. This brig.
I can't let that lobster captain reach Wardrop.
Could just try to berserk him. Oh, bit too far for now. We... Hey! Proper parkour tools. Ah, so close, so close, so close. Nope. Behind.
Where did you go?
You bumped into him, so he...
On the manuscript.
Apparently there are 4 upgrades currently available in the captain's cabin.
Lobster Captain? Is he a member of Davy Jones' crew?
Well, if he was, he certainly wouldn't be the captain. As we know, the captain is a hybrid of a crab and not a squid. If you continue along that jumping bit that you were looking at,
yeah,
so what you're standing on, it very much looks like there's a jump path to the wall you may be able to climb.
No, that's not what I wanted you to do. No, there is like there is like a second foothold there, isn't there?
Yeah, just keep going. Did you change the camera angle, or is that the game doing it?
I was trying to get. I must be.
No, I think it's just jump forward. Because there's only 3 in which we've seen that kind of climbing get a tutorial.
Oh!
Ah!
That wasn't what
Mr. Cormac.
Shay, mate, I need you to do what I tell you to do.
And what we tell you to do is psychically, not via controller. Because apparently the controller has got awful.
Well, the parkour targeting in this game seems really, inconsistent. Yeah. I was gonna say off, but see, there's no way he didn't know what I was trying to grab.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think that one's meant to just be just outside of the reach of that jump. You have to go onto the branch first. Oh, good Dante.
Okay, Shay. This is the one. Okay.
Okay. Yes. 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 Come on, Mr. Cormac. You can keep doing this. Look, there's a Brit to stab. You love stabbing the British. You're Irish. And also, there's a flag you could ruin by the looks of it. I mean, if you can't ruin it, why is it glowing blue? It's not anymore. No.
Oh, what?
Ah!
No!
Oh!
I was trying to jump onto the flagpole for some reason.
And it's going to reset you to earlier, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh wait,
Oh,
no.
we're in the car.
Well, I'm inside.
By the flagpole, by the looks of it.
It's taunting me.
Well, some of them have started to spot you.
No, hey.
Yeah, we'll stab you as you come to investigate. It is our duty as an Irishman.
Stab the British.
I must say that stab looked more like we were using the dagger rather than the hidden blade.
Yeah.
Stab the British now. Ah, there he is.
No. No, that's not what I want to do. Ugh.
Okay, get behind the thing. If you go into Eagle Vision, I believe it's the one walking around. Or not. Okay. Ah, there it is. You can berserk him as well if you like. Yeah, the guy's just died from being angry. It tends to work better if you berserk the target rather than one of the people by him.
Well,
Because
yeah.
there's no guarantee they will kill him, whereas the berserked one will die. Whether it's from the people shooting him or not. You're about to be shot. Someone's optimistic with their grenade throws. They're also right to be, because that's a grenade by your foot. Ow. Guy's running away.
No, that's not what I wanted to do.
A whole battalion will be after you. You'll regret this, assassin.
Attack his flank!
You can just reflectively shoot him with triangle.
Oh,
Oops.
man, literally too angry to live. I should have just berserk darted him when I had the chance, but no, I wanted to be all assassin-y.
Sometimes just getting your enemy to kill your target for you is all the assassin you need to be.
Yes, this is a valid point.
As Agent 47 has taught me. Okay, you want to get in cover now for that from that guy. Oh, your target's running.
You won't get far.
He's out.
Oh.
No, he was out of range before you started.
Damn.
Get on the. We saw you go in, so you can't hide in there.
Should have called for help, mate. As should you.
Okay, I think the target is near the guards now. There he is.
It's out of
He was
range.
just out of range, but...
How did...
Oh no. He moved.
No, that definitely hit him.
Yeah, get closer. You might just have to assassinate it the traditional way. By jumping on him from a great height.
Ah.
See? That's how they wanted you to get him.
You Templar dog.
No! You have no idea what you're doing, fool!
Keeping the people free from your control.
How free will you be when the French undermine these squabbling colonies?
These colonies would be far better off without the Templars pulling the strings.
We bring order from chaos. If everything is permitted, no one is safe.
Even the devil can quote scripture to suit his own purposes.
Saying that to a corpse doesn't really help your argument, matey.
Huh. Oh,
It's amazing that no one can see you. Or so it seems. Okay, we can do some looting.
Yes, that was what I was sticking around for, after all.
Loot the British.
I mean, it's tasted their own medicine in many ways.
Hmm. Nicer than stabbing them.
Marginally.
Yeah. Okay. Now all we need to do is just walk out the area.
Yep. Okay. There we go, nice and calmly.
Nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Oh, you could possibly do with dying. The front door's wide open.
Don't mind me, folks. Oh. Hey.
Yes, we did your boring air assassination, even though the Berserker Dart is more fun game. We.
Oh, that's a fair distance. Perhaps there's a fast travel point. Fast travel
No.
point? No. Although perhaps...
Check if there's one near our ship.
I mean, there's...
Is our ship a fast travel point? It's worth just finding out now. No, it isn't. So we can grab that, and we can also go to the quartermaster and see whether any upgrades are any use to us.
Yeah.
And by that I mean the harbour master.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of the buyable upgrades for our weapons are going to be as fun as the katana and Edward Kenway's pistols.
Yeah. Although, like, you know, the fire was something.
Hmm. Yeah, the ones that looked like they'd be quite good to have were somewhat more expensive than what our paltry £4,000 will get us.
What service can I provide?
We also have a fair amount of tobacco to sell.
Yes.
£1,000 of tobacco.
We have £5,000 exactly. Burning oil strength. Pockle gun strength.
Yeah. You like a good strong puckle gun?
Oh.
And I think that's everything because we didn't have much metal.
Yeah.
We can check if we need any ammunition, because apparently we do.
Just some heavy shot.
Yeah. We've upgraded those newfangled weapons that nobody else has it on the planet has, supposedly.
Run bit of business, that.
And then we restocked on some cannonballs.
Now, to the seas!
Yes. Oh, heavens. To sea.
I have the manuscript.
There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Belly of Tea.
What's it, Sleepy
For
Hollow?
about it down below me, but it was low.
Apparently, we're on our way to Sleepy Hollow. There's Ichabod's crane when you need him.
Personally, to Johnson's men. Get the box and manuscript to Frank.
So I'm a messenger then.
Aye. See if this Franklin can figure out how this damn box operates. Stay with him. Oh, as far as we can tell, this man doesn't know about the Templars or the assassins for that matter.
Oh, a simple task.
For a simple man.
Aye.
Some sort of
We're hardly simple. But we have tobacco.
Yeah.
Enough of it for the wizard tonight. What wizard? The one I see when I start smoking this.
Oh, so the Sleepy Hollow was also in Tall Tales of the Hendersons. Oh, bugger.
And Ollie is slightly distracted.
Yeah. Sleepy Hollow was also... Yeah, Tall Tales of the Hendersons is a script Seb wrote about a family who makes up stories, and then it turns out they may or may not be true. But they make up really outlandish stories, like, I don't know.
Yeah. What's that ship that we're just passing?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's got a symbol, so it may be, now it's on fire. You stop, if you open the map, it may have the symbol on there. Yeah.
Abandoned ship.
An abandoned ship.
Huh. The one involving the hovercraft and the Statue of Liberty. And Andrew Cuomo.
But not his brother, Chris.
Huh.
Yeah, I know you can do fleets in this. The abandoned ships may be something for that. Just, ooh, there's an abandoned ship. Quick, let us harvest it for our fleet.
Yeah. Maybe. So I think you need to unlock the fleet functionality first.
Yeah.
We're in Sleepy Hollow.
Yes. I don't know what's so legendary about it.
I also came up with one where Dad opens the world's first in-person subreddit.
Don't recall that a meeting of, oh, I had something, and then immediately it's gone out of my mind.
Oh no. Hate when that happens.
Yes. Yes. The shanty's getting away from you. I think that's a bit far away.
Well, it's the opposite direction to the objective.
Yeah, do you want to do the synchronization point? If you walk away from it's...
yeah.
Just a touch.
It's worth doing. Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow Church. From which, if memory serves, Michael Gambon was ripped up quite brutally with a the upright of a picket fence through his chest. In the Legend of Sleepy Hollow film with Johnny Depp. And Christopher Lee was in there as well.
Yeah.
Shay should have lost the top of his head, his right hand, and his right foot with the landing he had just then.
Fiat looks.
You're late. The sky is getting temperamental.
That's not the only thing, is it? Master Franklin, sir. My name is Shay, and this is my associate Hope. William Johnson told us to give you these.
Thank you, but I'm afraid I must delay my experiment.
Delay it? Why?
The army confiscated my lightning rods. They are essential to conducting the electricity I need to vivify your box.
Master Johnson would not want you to have to wait.
Perhaps there is something you can do, then. Soldiers have been hauling things away all day. Perhaps they could tell you where they've taken my lightning rods so you could get them back.
At your service, sir.
Begin your investigation at the market near the docks. I will stay here and help with the preparations.
I will see you soon, Benjamin Franklin.
This is impossible.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Benjamin Franklin. We will meet you again. There's 2 other people. When your hair has more grey in it.
Yeah.
Well, there's Haytham when we still think he's a Templar. No, still an assassin. And then later with Connor, his son. The poor man suffering quite a bit of coming after the most charismatic of the assassins we have met so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just pressing L3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what Eagle Vision does, mate.
There it is. Yes, okay.
Oh, God, it's a tail.
Moving. At least it's not 25% of the game. You, soldier, do you have lightning rods? If not, can you lead me to where there are lightning rods? Sleepy Hollow Bridge. Where more people died in the film. Yes, you might have to climb on top of the Sleepy Hollow Bridge, like the horseman did. Or run alongside it, as it seems to be the idea they're wanting to suggest.
Did you see that strange stuff in Benjamin Franklin's garden? I keep well clear of that place. They say that man messes with lightning. Speaking of lightning, I reckon there's a storm coming.
Oh, God. Would you believe that was a total accident? I was trying to...
Yes.
I was trying to...
I would, because I saw how that went.
I was trying to get on the rope.
Because we're ahead of him, we need to see him.
I'm sure you're seeing things.
You're not being followed. I'm ahead of you. And again, you need to keep an eye on him.
Keep well clear of that place. They say that man messes with lightning. Speaking of lightning, I reckon there's a storm coming.
Aye. Let's hope she demurs until we're off duty.
You're wanting to sleep rather than berserk.
Oh, bugger.
Just up one.
You up for a pint?
You bring your maid?
Oh, that was close.
Yep.
You probably still want to knock out the guy on the roof just in case. The roof you're on.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Is that the last of it?
Yes, it is, sir.
Good. Put it with the rest.
Thank you for that simple instruction.
Oh, I don't need to tail him anymore.
Yeah, we don't need to tail, but we don't know the Yes. Wonderfully Monty Python there. Hey, you can't do
I
that.
wonder what Master Franklin plans to do with these rods.
Right, he plans to attract electricity. Right, it's simple.
Better hurry back to Franklin.
He plans to attract electricity, tie a key and your box to a kite, and electrify them. Damn bullet! Ruining my parkour. Optional objective, do not swim. It should be. I mean, in this weather, you probably don't want to with all the metal you've got and the lightning that's coming down.
Yeah.
Jesus, worms.
Huh.
Shay, thank goodness! Quick! Help me with the rods!
Oh, good. Looks like it's going to end badly. I said end badly.
It's a map. Where is that?
Portugal! Lisbon, I'd stake my life on it!
Make yourself scarce, Shay. The militia will be here any minute. I'm sure they will have questions.
What about you?
I'm a devoted housekeeper.
Right.
Well, I got one of them.
I'm not doing 100% runs, so...
Yeah.
The nearest bureau is near Mount Vernon. Hope will be expecting me.
Mount Vernon, I think we've got a fast travel point, huh? Given that that was the starting area for all memory serving. Go down.
There we go.
That should. Yeah.
Lisbon is near as large as London or Paris. Are you sure you can find this one place?
Saw it clear as day, Hope. It's a convent, right close by the harbor. I might have visited the sisters once or twice.
Given your present knowledge of the site, this duty falls upon you. You understand what must be done?
Find the precursor temple and retrieve the Piece of Eden.
Finally obtained a ship for crossing the ocean. Have no worries. I will keep the Morgans safe in New York.
Thank you. Liam and I will leave straight away.
Liam is unavailable at present. Your crew and ship await. Be careful, Shay. Pieces of Eden are powerful relics.
So, it's Isu Temple parkour section.
Yes. I think this, I remember getting to the end of, I think it was this mission. Because, spoiler alert, it all goes a bit pear-shaped.
What a sight.
And,
It all goes a bit wrong.
That's where his frustrations with the Order start, I think. And I think that's where I remember getting to.
His frustrations have already started.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is where they boil over. Is what I meant, because, as a result of this mission going pear-shaped, a lot of people die.
Yeah. Oh, good. Parkour puzzle inside a church again.
You know what? I'm oddly nostalgic for this.
Yeah. When did this last happen? I believe we were at Damien. After having spent a long time with Ezio Aldadori Defter Frenze.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just need to start finding a way up first. Which I'm going to say is just to the side here, yeah.
There's no way no one can see this.
Well, they shouldn't be able to if they are properly in prayer. Don't jump. Hang on. Yep. So, this is a precursor temple. Why does the hidden blade work? Also, there's no way that no one notices that one.
Yeah. Like, even deep in prayer, they should feel that.
It's not back the way you came. It's, you need to go up. Or not.
Okay. I think if I, jump there. No!
Ooh. Almost ended badly. And very loudly. You know, falling on the organ.
Yeah. God. Sorry.
Sorry. I'm just dealing with the completely obvious puzzle on your floor. Ow!
What are you doing, man?
Oh, thank goodness there's this climbing bit. What am I doing? I am doing the Lord's work. Honest.
I mean, he's not...
Not trying to open some pagan temple.
Oh. Ow, my ankles are shattered.
Everything is... life is pain. Right, I'm missing a foot, both my ankles are broken, I'm missing the top of my head and my right hand. That's just for today's jumping.
Ah, up we go. Somehow.
Side,
yeah. No! Go! Go!
My ankles again!
Go!
Other side of the altar, I believe, was the climb up point. Okay, there's one there.
Okay, we need to find a way up.
So, yeah.
I should be able to jump up there from the chandelier.
Yeah, but if you jump to the chandelier there, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, hang on. Jump onto the great opposite. No, yes, that. You know, with that handy ladder section in the middle of it.
Yes. Can't help but
And-
feel like I was about to make things more difficult for myself than they needed to be.
Yes. Pull yourself up. Okay.
Where are those flowers?
Yeah, that. My back. Oh, I need to see a chiropractor. Quite badly. As if no one notices this.
This must be it. The precursor site.
Okay, this is not as Isu parkour as I expected. It's just general church parkour. Oh, no. Oh, that's helpful.
Artifact.
I foresee no potential issues with taking this thing.
The thing that barely seems solid. Because it isn't solid, as it turns out. Okay, time to get to run. Run, good sir. After the first rock fell, you probably should have started running then. Out of my way, mortals. I'm an assassin. This is it. This is what I'm trained to do.
Yes, I think this is exactly the part I thought it was.
Yeah. The 1750s Lisbon earthquake. Thousands dead.
Oh, is this an actual historical earthquake?
Yes.
Oh.
A historical earthquake and turned it and changed the cause of it from being an earthquake to being the assassins taking Isu artifacts.
Huh.
Yeah, the studios behind Assassin's Creed are generally very good at fitting historical events into their narrative.
Yeah.
Oof. Ow. Jeez. There's his John Wick moment. Surviving injuries he has no right to survive.
Yeah. With surprisingly little lasting effect.
And even more surprisingly little immediate effect. I think this is going to feel like a dramatic moment right now. Got onto a building that hasn't collapsed. Oops.
Oof. Another John
Yeah.
Wick moment there.
Yeah, there's no way anyone else could have survived this. In sort of the way that Shay is.
Yeah. Keep moving forward.
How could God do this to them?
God had nothing to do with this.
Hmm.
It was a fairly straightforward sequence. How many sequences does this game have, I wonder?
Let's have a look. See, into the webs.
So what's the next city you want me to smite? What happened in Haiti happened in Portugal. A great earthquake. Thousands dead next to your damned manuscript.
This cannot be.
Shay, a person cannot start an earthquake.
A person meddling with these precursor machines could. You saw the box, Hope. The temple was filled to bursting with that kind of power. You made me slaughter innocents.
How dare you?
You defend him?
Apparently
Achilles
six.
sent me in there like Macandal sent his man in Haiti.
Sorry?
What the hell's going on? Stop
Apparently 6.
The operation was
6?
delicate. Perhaps
You are shifting the
That was sequence 4.
Who are you to decide
Wasn't
what
it?
city
No.
falls next?
That was Mission 4, Sequence 2.
Oh, right. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that feels a little, more
Liam is a fool if he
in
thinks I'll
line
leave
with
this
things.
be. Achilles cannot be trusted. He must never find another precursor temple. I don't care that he's mentor, or that his family is dead. There's no excuse for this level of madness.
Infiltrate Davenport Manor. Yeah, I
I
think...
mean, he's got a point there. It's just sort of like, he may be mental and he may have lost his family, but messing with these temples does not end well.
Yeah. I mean, you can't blame Shay for
Only
coming
one
by
thing
his
to do.
opinions honestly. Like, you know.
Like, he just saw an entire city get flattened because he meddled with because he touched one of these artifacts. And
Yeah.
Achilles wants to go after all of the others.
Yeah, I mean... His point of view is understandable.
Yeah.
Oh, we can just go through the door.
Yeah, I know it feels weird to just use the front door as an assassin, but sometimes they let you in the front door.
I
believe it's in a drawer in sort of... One would assume the drawing room. Or Achilles' study.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks like a study. No, that's grass growing in the house. Ah, good old Ubisoft clipping. Not as bad as Bethesda, but still. Okay. Oh, it's upstairs.
Oh.
One I saw something clipping through up here. Here, glowing gold. Yeah,
Yep,
next room.
that'll be it.
You really expected not to betray you when
There's
you
no
give him all the
turning back
materials too?
I had such hopes for you, Shay.
Achilles, I have to do this.
And what is it you're doing exactly? Stealing from your brothers? Betraying me?
Someone must make amends.
Make amends? You have no idea what you're doing. The future of the whole continent, maybe the whole world, is tied up in that manuscript.
Perhaps. But we don't have the right to decide that future.
The right! We have the responsibility!
We are responsible for killing innocents and destroying cities. This mad grab for power. It ends now.
I will not let you destroy everything we have built! Assassins! Stop him! Stop Shay!
I think this is about where I dropped it the first time.
But just before you actually turn fully against them.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't drop it deliberately, I just never happened to pick it up again.
You won't hinder our plans. How could you, Shay?
Yeah, play stops in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we get through the mission, it seems a suitable point to stop.
Yeah.
Haven't I taught you anything?
I mean, if all I've got to do is escape the homestead, I should be able to manage it.
We have to find him again.
I can see you!
You might need to deploy a couple of smoke bombs just if they get too close to you.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you run away now.
But given we only got 30 odd meters.
That's enough.
Give back the manuscript, Shay. I'm sure Achilles...
I cannot! I will not let this happen again. All those souls lost. One more hardly matters.
Shay!
Ow!
Oh, he ain't walking away from that in a hurry.
What is this?
A glitch in the memories.
Oh God.
There seems to be more data. Okay, Numbskull. I can't pull you out of the chair right now. You'll just have to see this through.
Oh right, it's not
This
a
is
modern day
bizarre.
segment.
These memories seem to take place some 20 years after the one we just saw.
Are you certain?
Positive. This means... Shay must have survived that fall.
If he is the man I believe him to be, then he has. Keep going.
The data is
maybe
fragmented.
20 years
This
later.
memory's incomplete. Let me see what I can do. Listen up. We need to find out what Shay's up to. This memory's gonna look a little off, but I'm like 90% sure sequencing this memory won't kill you.
Oh, thanks. They called us Numbskull, so can't say they're particularly liked. Would have been bold of them
Alright,
to just kill us
we
then.
don't know where Shay is or what he's doing there. So keep your eyes and ears open.
I want to know the reason Shay came to this place.
You heard the man. Let's move.
And with that,
Seems a sensible place to stop, doesn't it?
yeah. I mean, does it auto saves, yeah?
Yes. From what I'm aware of, yes.
Yeah. So, like, starting next episode, I will officially be in uncharted territory. And, well, the share play session just ended, so...
We'll be in Uncharted territory. And by that, we don't mean we're playing the Uncharted games just to troll you all.
I did Uncharted 1 years ago, and I just never got to continuing it. Could do that, but it's not particularly assassiny.
Yeah, I've never played any of them, but we have plenty of Assassin's content to keep us going for a while yet.
Yeah. So, Shay Cormac has left the Assassins and presumably joined the Templars. Yeah.
Or it's going to be shortly.
So, what have your thoughts so far, Dan?
It's interesting. It's shorter than I imagined, given we're ostensibly a third of the way through the game.
Yeah. So if you say you want to try and do a bonus one in the week?
Yeah, we will discuss and see sort of like what times you're free and if you're feeling better, of course.
Yeah. I can make myself free if I need to, but yeah. So yeah, we'll probably have a bonus episode this week because you're not available next week, and
yeah,
we'll see you then, I suppose, for the first times of Assassin's Creed that's new to both of us.
Indeed.
Well, not for the first time. Freedom Cry was pretty new to both of us.
Yeah, but we have ventured into territory where neither of us have gone before. And again, both of us have started independently of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't even get the air rifle when I went independently of it. That's how quickly I dropped it.
Yeah. I mean, if you've played all of the series up till now, well, it's much of your muchness, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I was feeling series fatigue. That's why I think it's good we generally do these, like, once a week. You don't really get the chance to be burnt out on it.
Yeah, that does help.
Anyway, we will see you next time.
See you next time.
Good night, everybody.